We hear initial jobless claims we are waiting for last week. 224,000 was the prior number here. 225,000 the expected. A little bit lower than expected there on that number. 235,000 the actual number that comes through. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index negative 0.3% versus over here a positive 9 print expected there. So quite a reversal on that number. Continuing jobless claims 1.972 million versus 1.96 million. That's pretty much it as far as economic data this morning. We will get S&P Global Composite PMI coming up, and then 10 o'clock some existing home sales, of course. The big event down here, Jackson Hole getting started later tonight, 8 p.m. The main event, though, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. We'll hear from Fed Chair Powell coming through with, I think, a lot of people expecting some potential fireworks anyways, as far as coming off the meeting minutes that we got yesterday, showing a little bit more split, I guess, as far as opinions are concerned at the Fed right now as to what they should be doing on the cut versus no cut and when that is going to come through. So we'll hear from Powell again coming up tomorrow at 10 o'clock. As far as the overall market is concerned, we are back to the downside once again after a nice recovery late in the day yesterday. That's the Nasdaq, obviously, coming back into key levels from the afternoon here. But it was interesting to see the reaction from the market coming off those minutes into the close yesterday.
And the minutes disclosed a lot, Brendo. They're really concerned about the job market, but not concerned enough to override their concern about the inflation that could be caused by tariffs. And you could feel that that was kind of like the fine line that they were trying to balance there. Obviously still leaning towards tariffs causing inflation. Otherwise, we would have got rate cuts. So more on that. And we'll be looking for more comments, obviously, with Jerome Powell's keynote tomorrow, Brendo.
Yeah, a few more Fed speakers. There was one actually earlier this morning, and then that'll pretty much be it until we get to Powell coming up tomorrow. So, yeah, a lot riding on that as it typically, I don't know why this always ends up happening, but when we get to Jackson Hole every year in August, it always seems to be main event and decently important. So we'll keep an eye on that. Lots of earnings to talk about this morning. As you mentioned, Walmart to the downside here. Not a huge move, down a couple of bucks off their report. We also had CVS. There's a couple of headlines as far as JNJ is concerned. Bank of America with an interesting move on the executive side of things as well. So a lot to consider here. Tesla as well. I was just reading a couple of things on. We'll touch on that. But all eyes on the Fed, guys, heading into Friday.
Yeah, Jackson Hole coming through, and
should be a fun one.
It was certainly not an eventful day yesterday, everybody. No, V-shaped recovery
nothing
everywhere.
Happened in the market yesterday.
Nothing at all happened. You didn't need a lot of earnings. I mean, what do we have? Target yesterday, today Walmart. Hey, good news. Walmart mixed earnings, but not as badly received as Target was. Though remember, Target actually bucked the trend for most of the day and was able to get itself going. Still closing down, but we'll get into the nitty gritty here because there's a bunch that you could like about this report and a couple of things that missed, including guidance coming in not quite as expected. But what's interesting so far is remember that big bounce that we had. Like so far this morning, like NVIDIA has just been slowly gliding down, and Palantir has been slowly gliding down. Both of those names in the market to a certain extent as well. So some, but not that much, of the gap overnight is starting to get pulled back in here. But the story yesterday was the V-shaped recovery, the dip buy that was pretty much across the board, unless you're Intel. Pretty much everything I saw got a great, crazy little bounce there. So yeah, some pretty key levels got set and then broken. And I look at the ones that did not regain all the way as a little bit weaker. I'm looking at you, Tesla. And we'll see if we can't get some nice ones off the open. But remember, even if you missed out on the great shorts at the open, you could have had the long off the bottom. You didn't have to, you did not have to go nuts. You didn't have to have FOMO. If you miss parabolic moves down, there's always an opportunity later. And likewise, if you made all your money short, you didn't have to force anything later either.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you so much for that quick drop off of the bananas. Yeah, last day for me here for a while, but we're going to be trading again. Look at the markets trying to go back up here. 0.25%, a quarter of a percent down right now is the Nasdaq, trying to battle back right now. Palantir looking to go positive. As Neil said, we'll see if that has a day today. Yesterday's big trade was AMD short right off the open. And yeah, we didn't miss that. That goes boom to the downside, and then there's the recovery upside. And then we had the closing long in AMD as well. So AMD today up 0.48. I don't think it's rocket science that some of these names that were beat up yesterday are going to try to lead the way today. AMD 0.5, and then NVIDIA with a little bit of an upgrade as well today from UBS, heading into earnings report coming on Wednesday. They're still down. AMD might be the one with the relative strength. Boeing as well. Rumors, I thought this was going to happen a long time ago, but rumors now of unlocking some China deals, which would be really nice. So we'll see if Boeing can keep going. We do have right here 113 as well for crypto and Bitcoin, so that's trying to languish down there. I didn't even really see what Ethereum was at today. 32.50, that seems lower, right? Yeah, down another 1.5% today for Ethereum, but yesterday was actually pretty good. Ticked up to that $33 mark. We'll try to watch out for some of that. But yeah, I mean, that jobless claims number came a little bit hotter there. 235 versus 226 for your initial jobless claims. I mean, as when things are coming in as line, then we basically just think that, you know, we're going to stay the course here. So here's the Fed rate tool here in 1 second. Just going to reload this. And we're going to see, ooh, we have a 7 handle now. Went from a 9 handle to a 7 handle. 79% right now. So yeah, it's getting a little bit, 1 out of every 5 think maybe we stay put. Getting better. There might be something interesting here come September. We'll check out what some of those rate cut numbers look like later on in the show. But yeah, I can't believe it's September already. We were just saying how fast this summer is gone. But doesn't that happen? That happens every summer, though.
It's so true. Like, the kids leave school, and then they're back at school, it seems like a few days later, and camps are pretty much going to be wrapping up. But you know what? We get something fun to end the summer with. And that's NVIDIA earnings in less than 1 week. So we've got till next week, Wednesday, to gear up for the show that is NVIDIA that carries a lot of the market, let's be real. And NVIDIA did a pretty good job of it. An NVIDIA-related name is going to be in play actually on the watch list today, CRWV, because Jane Street has decided, well, they're not decided, they've already taken an over 5% passive stake in CRWV. This was one of the names that did better than a V-shaped recovery, right? Like, it tanked and then was able to break out later, and then the news comes out, oh, look at that. It was doing better than the rebound in the AI names at the close, and then it had a catalyst after market. Shocking. But yeah, this looks like it could be a good one here today. A lot of interesting bottoms got made. You're going to see a lot of these hammer candles on pretty much, if it moved yesterday, it probably has a hammer candle on it on the daily chart. So it's going to be a pattern we'll see a heck of a lot of. As we go up to the desk, ooh, it's black, it's white. One's one. I just
red all over.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you got Brendan wearing the all white, and then you've got Sharif in the black. Doing the zebra action right over there.
Very, very observant, Neil. Very observant.
I try to. I joke about it.
Back to zebra desk. And look, we're both wearing gray.
But then it was because Joe yesterday didn't even notice until we're sitting next to each other on the market recap show that we're wearing basically the same style shirt.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And he's got the white on too, looking sharp.
Back over to the desk.
The tuxedo or the piano keys, I guess, going on here today. Here's Tesla downside this morning. We were touching on that a little bit to kick things off. Nice recovery into the end of the day yesterday, but version 14 autopilot coming out here for Tesla. Is this going to move the needle? I mean, I think a lot of people are just kind of oh-hum until we get some solid numbers once again.
I think we're really waiting for the robo-taxi. That's where the income-generating component of it could be. I mean, the last FSD update was very well received. People really commented positively online. And to add to that, I showed you guys yesterday on the afternoon rundown the video of FSD out in Japan now on the streets of Tokyo, driving around right-hand drive as well. So interesting developments from Tesla. My main concern, though, Brendo, always goes back to the hardware version. We've heard about this before. Every Tesla has a different hardware version 3, 4, etc. And so the latest FSD models may not be as compatible as they could be with the older hardwares. And Elon has been pressed on that. Are you going to upgrade the hardware for these these people? Because you said FSD was going to be compatible on all the cars. And is that something he's kind of tried to deke around?
Or will it be a way to just push them towards getting a new car?
Oh.
Why not? Here's Tesla, guys, firmly, I would say, last couple of days anyways, back into this downtrend.
Yeah, it's the good news for Tesla is at least no day has been so bad. Even yesterday, like you saw a lot of really, really ugly moves in yesterday's trade. Tesla was a good short. Don't get me wrong. Like when it broke 327, we'll get to that in a second. It did a pretty solid move. But we've been saying this for a little bit here that since earnings, Tesla has been getting less and less volatile for something, I think, spectacular to happen. And we keep waiting for another catalyst. They can keep doing test drives and the pre-release, or I don't even see a date on Optimus, but you can go to the website and you can peruse and do a pre-order without a specific date. We just need something to get this going here in Tesla. The market didn't even care that Elon Musk officially said yesterday that he's dropping any idea of the America Party or whatever he was calling it. So, that's the kind of thing that I feel like a few weeks ago, or maybe like a month or two ago, that would have been a mover for Tesla. So I'm just going to keep it real simple. Until we have some kind of breakaway from that little wedge channel, it was 327, was a flat bottom break yesterday. We're under that price. We didn't recover all the way. I want to favor the short unless we're breaking out above. And that's what was in the note. It was kind of very similar. Instead of a flat bottom break, I want to look to fade into that prior low. If you get through 31, that's a reverse, like through that top, which is more like 30, actually it's 31 and a half. You get through that top, then let's be real, you're breaking it back out and you're doing what everything else did yesterday. So 327 is the key level for me on Tesla. But I just think there's going to be some kind of a big swing once this is able to close outside of this compression pattern that it's been doing for a while. It's just weird to see Tesla compress like this. It just simply can't last.
All right. Not for me. Just the action in the pre-market shows me that I'm not really super interested in this stock today. Just bouncing around, not doing a whole heck of a lot here. Down 0.5%. It just doesn't. To me, it doesn't look that exciting. I have a problem right now going long or short today. I'm not sure exactly which way. So I'm trying to find stocks that have specific catalysts, and I just don't see one with Tesla. So for me, it's going to be a no-fly zone. I mean, if we can get down and watch it base out or top out or something like that, then we can try to trade this name. But for me today, I mean, I was just trying to look at it right now, and I didn't really see anything too interesting. I'd like to get, obviously, back above this 340 area. You still have dollars to climb before that, so that's not going to be happening there today. This little drop, I mean, if you just played off of that level, like there was a level there yesterday, I just don't really see it today. So I'm going to have to say, shorting 328 might be something. The 200-period moving average, 326 here on a 5-minute chart. But, yeah, for me, Tesla is not setting up to do anything today. Chinese name that rarely traded, some of these Chinese EVs on the show, but we do have NIO at least looking to break out through. See, at least there's some levels here. It looks like 5 to 550, right around there. It looks like you are trying to get upside. This is actually catalyst driven here, 3.75%. We got some of those delivery numbers the other day from NIO, and here it's trying to get through right into here, 530. So a little break higher. I would say if you can get up to this 560, 570 area, maybe a short against this 6 to 610. So that's a pretty good level right into here. If we got anywhere 6 to 620, I guess, up there for that would be a huge move for NIO. I don't think we're going to go up that high, but just thinking about where we are going potentially for NIO. So I'd like a break here, 525, 526. So what does it look like here so far on the 1-minute chart? We just had it up for you. Yeah, breaking higher, right? So there it goes. I would think that you can get a pullback into this 515 or so area for NIO. But again, here's a name that's doing something. It's 3 million shares, and it's trying to have a move today in a red tape. So yeah, I think NIO looking pretty good here for $5. Could get some retail trade behind it. The Chinese government could come in and buy up these stocks again like they tend to do. So I would say, yeah, NIO for a long today looks much better for me than Tesla.
That's what we haven't seen for a while. That, when Alibaba would do those, it would have like that 1 hour in the morning where it was just blatantly obvious what was going on. You just see the buy program, and then you would see the buy program just blatantly stop at some random time. That's something that used to be really fun. Because what was fun about it is you kind of knew that it had to be something along the lines of, the Chinese government or somebody behind it doing it. And you could chase the move at almost any entry point, like any key price level, any minor dip. We used to be really good on those. But it's been a minute since we've had that. Come on, CBP, get it done. But I do know we have a little somebody we got to go over too. It's Joey Runway.
Okay, good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. Let's take a look at what we got on the upgrades and downgrades list here. So this morning, we're getting the nod from Jefferies. Enphase getting that target raised to $36, and then TJX also getting the nod as well from Telsey Advisory Group, raising that price target to $155. And then guess what? Yes, Guess is getting that price target raised to $16.75 by Telsey Advisory Group as well. And then CoreWeave, Sharif, also getting that price grade, that upgrade as well to $180 by H.C. Wainwright. Now, on the downgrade side, we have Guild getting that downgrade to $17. Alcon, no specific target there, but JPM giving it that downgrade. BHP getting that target downgraded to $45 by Citigroup, and then Instacart downgraded by Wedbush, guys.
Enphase gets interesting there, but I just want to one thing about Guess. $16.75 price target. It's being bought for $16.75 cash. Deal announced yesterday. They have a dividend that should get. It's a 22-cent dividend that'll probably get paid out at least once before the close of that deal, which means it's likely to trade somewhat above the current buyout price. So it's trading above the price, but only because of the dividend. I don't think it's all that interesting. Enphase, however, this is one of those stocks. We've talked a lot about the space, and there hasn't really been too much positive to mention. That said, one of the things we like to say is only use or only care about an indicator if the stock respects it. And this stock really respects the 50-period moving average on the daily, almost more than just about anything. Unfortunately, it respects it the wrong way, like it's under the 50-period moving average, but that can change. And this is the kind of thing where the second it's able to close out and break above 38, this looks like a good potential long opportunity. Upgrade, downgrade, it doesn't really matter. It's just a reason to go over it. I don't see that as enough of a catalyst to get it going. But this is the kind of thing you put on a watch when it gets above 38. If you can do so in a timely fashion, then you can have a breakout trade on your hands. Unfortunately, if it continues to trend down, then the 50 period moves down with it, and you have to wait for it to close above that level. But everyone always wants to catch the low in this group. This seems like it's about to make another attempt, one which has failed every single time. But if you follow the rule of waiting for it to hold above the 50, then you've never actually entered this trade, and you're still being patient looking for that bottom.
All right, for me, on the note today is going to be CoreWeave. So, nice upgrade, I guess. They have Jane Street there taking a 5.4% stake and disclosing it. That's a big position in a name for Jane Street. So they see something they like. Oops. In CoreWeave, take that out of there. We don't need this line here. I don't know. Let me just remove this. But again, finally, I'm just writing the sticky note now. It's finally getting a catalyst to the north side, at least. It's been really hit pretty badly down here, CoreWeave, into the bottom. We had some questions about this yesterday, looked at it, and I actually thought that, potentially we had, yesterday was tough because of this move, and then everything sort of rallied back to the high side. But look at this. CoreWeave actually went into the green yesterday, which many stocks didn't. So that was a nice little closing push there for CRWV. And it looks now that it wants to fail lower. But there's the 95 spot that I was looking at. If to look for some dip buy opportunities as well in CoreWeave could exist. And so those levels here, if we do continue to come down, we'll just have to be like 90 clean, something like that in there for CRWV. So maybe between 91 to 90, I think, is a good buy area. So we'll sit there early and see if we get picked up if there is a dump. But again, a name where we think there's some sort of a catalyst, up 1.5% here for CoreWeave. So like the upgrade, like the 5.4% stake. So I like the long in CRWV. We may have to, again, look at the market, completely turned around there. We started to rally when we came on the show. Now you're starting to head back to the low side. I have offers out to get out some Palantir today if we get near that 160 mark. We also have CoreWeave right now back in play, down now, but up 1.5%. Looking to buy this name, man, 90 to 91 bucks. Right into here. I like those levels. We'll see if it holds the 200 period moving average. And the best part about it is if it breaks 90, then we can jam out. So pretty easy trade here for CoreWeave. 95 break high, 91 low bottom. That's about it from me.
Just reading a note here on BLSH, bit of a bounce here into the close yesterday off of 60 bucks. We're trying to hold 60 bucks for bullish. The market's had 5 straight down days. I mean, obviously not correlated, but market's had 5 straight down days since this thing came to.
Oh, yeah. No, this one.
All its fault.
Yeah, exactly, Brendo. No, the chart doesn't look really that good on bullish. At least it's holding above the IPO price, which we know is oversubscribed in the 30s. Well, let's see how this one continues to trade today. But I feel like crypto's been a little bit weak lately as people take profits. Bitcoin breaking down into technical levels. ETH had a decent day yesterday. We'll see how this one does, Brendo, but I'm just waiting for that next IPO to launch.
Yeah, we'll see how crypto does today. It was a little bit weak when I first sat down this morning, but I mean, we're trying to hold some key levels here. The interest faded pretty quick here, guys, with bullish. I mean, the IPO is just nuts, but since then, not much to do.
Like we said yesterday, it had its first good day. Well, I mean, you'll have to break it down between sort of day trading it and what the stock has actually been doing for any longer period of time, even though it hasn't been around a while. So you could make the strong argument it was one of the best IPO open trades, and if you traded to the long side of the open on day 2, you actually won there as well. But really, it's just been heading down every single day. And if it cannot, first of all, you got to hold a level, which now it's done. But then to me, you always want to be breaking out that next high, or at least putting in higher lows. That's the confirmation for myself that this is doing anything other than a relief rally with the rest of the market. Like, hold on to 58 today, break out 64, and then maybe I'll consider this to be something worth buying. But I'm not really in that mode. And when looking at what we had here in crypto in general, like if you look at ETH, like ETH with the break and pulls right back into, I mean, technically speaking, like that 4,000, pulls right back into a prior high and bounces. So that's immediately like in sort of an obvious place to look for us to go back to if we're going to flush again. Now we have 4,000 prior resistance turned into support. And then you've got Bitcoin, which did a similar thing off of, zoom in here, a similar thing off the 112 level. So you got some levels here that if crypto can hold on to, maybe something like bullish can get itself going. But if either of those break down, or both of them break down, technically bullish, BMNR, well, probably BMNR because I usually trade that, but bullish to me just goes right back into this steady trend, bearish trend that it has been doing since it's open. There's a big difference between the IPO open and actually a strong trade afterwards, because the buying evaporated after 15 minutes on that stock.
So here's and again, that was the greatest, made the most single amount of money on that trade in the history of me trading. So I'm pretty happy with those IPOs, that is for sure. It looks like Bitcoin right now is trying to go. That's 112 right here, trying to hold now for BTC. So I think this is going to be sort of a put up or shut up level here. We either hold off of it and we go and try to retest some of those highs again, which is what everyone's hoping for. Because just like the Nasdaq, just like some of these other names that have high valuations, and of course Bitcoin doesn't based on valuation, based on anything, but the move goes to the upside there, so it has to cool down just a bit. There it is right here, 112. That has to hold. If it doesn't, then the next little area is 100. So I feel like you can have a 10% move down again if something happens in the Nasdaq tomorrow in Jackson Hole. Just if we fall down and don't hold this level, then you're for sure getting into 108, 109, right? Which is an area that I bought last time. And then we're coming back into 100 again. which is a 200-period moving average. So I'm a little bit, I don't want to say nervous about it because I'm not, but there is something there. Ripple, same kind of way right now, down into this 270 area. I think that's a really great buy area right now for XRP. So the closer we get to that, right now it's 288. So what's up to XRP Army out there? I am a proud member and hopefully getting longer if we do come into this area. So, have some planted bids already around 270 here for XRP. Let's see if we can get into that. And then if you break below this 220 area, $2, then you can get out. I mean, it would suck to have to buy something at 270. Oh, I just got long NVIDIA. Buy something at the market must be getting down. We'll have to deal with this in a minute. But buy something around 270 to 275 there for XRP could be a play back in. We just bought some NVIDIA. Okay, I'm going to take out something there. There we go. Little winner to start off the day already right there with XRP, with NVIDIA. We had to post it on our levels here, 174. For NVIDIA, so there it is, man. We're long at 174.05. Let's take another piece out. There it is. We'll take another piece out at 25. Hit the sirens up. It's already an early trade there. Long. Okay, here we go. Now we're 30 cents in the money on this trade. We might as well offer again. So a nice little move down there in NVIDIA gets us a little long to start the day. So, but anyways, yeah, I think crypto's fine for right now. There are going to be some key levels coming in. If you like the trade, buy the dip. If not, wait for a couple minutes and see how bad this thing can get. But I really like Bitcoin. I like XRP. Those are my two ones that I'm trying to go, the moon with. And then, of course, we have Cardano, but that's not really moving around. We need to see that one break through $1. So, yeah, so far so good. There's a couple more outs there on NVIDIA. Looks like we'll get 25 cents real early on this play. And again, sorry, the stickies note's not out yet. These guys got me working and doing all these things. So we'll get this out very, very soon. NVIDIA CoreWeave is what we're looking at. There it is. There's the fill right there at 35. It's a chicken dinner winner to start the day here with NVDA. But we're looking for more. But never like to get filled too early in the pre-market. That kind of came in out of nowhere as we were discussing something else. So definitely getting some out. We're already out 30% of this trade on NVDA. So yeah, we'll see what winds up happening here today. But so far so good. It's 8:56. Let's go back over to the desk.
Just reading a note here on Instacart to the downside. Webbush out here with a negative note on CART. 2 days in a row here. This followed the market, obviously, yesterday. Nowhere near the recovery into the close, but not a lot of volume behind this, but just saying pricing is going to be an issue going forward, and they see not only companies like CART, but others as well struggling.
Yeah, and we've seen some pricing pressure on advertising, Brendo. We saw Snapchat basically report worse than expected advertising revenue, and basically Instacart is advertising. They advertise aggressively in their platform. Obviously, their business operations are a little bit different, but it was a big spike there. I think early on in the month, Brendo, up into that $61, $62 area, selling off quite aggressively, almost $20 lower at the moment. So we'll keep an eye here on CART. Maple Bear price target cut too. Down to $42 from 55.
A few notes on Opendoor as well. I mean, it was positive here ever so slightly to start things off. Looks like we have gone red, but if you remember, 500% going back to beginning of July. To the upside, we continue to come back down here. I mean, most of those were after the close yesterday. A lot of analysts just coming out saying party's over essentially after this run up. And the slow bleed continuing so far, guys, for Open.
I guess. I mean, it's been 2 days, but when a stock like this drops 20 to 25% from the highs in a couple of days, you have to remind yourself that it also went up, what was that, 10x from the lows? Actually more than that, but because it got to $5. But if you look at the $4 level, that's 10x from when it was a penny stock. So it's like that's just going to happen. Looking at this, $3, or maybe it's like $3.05, but let's just call it $3 here. This looks like a flat bottom break on Opendoor. It's flat today. The trend has been down. It's one of those things where, like, on Opendoor, if it falls apart through a level like 3, like that can be at 275 and 250 relatively quickly, and it's not as if you have to give it a ton. Like, it's going to go, it's going to go. And that's what I like about stocks like that. So it's probably worth putting on the radar. It wasn't even on my radar before, but there's a lot of really good flat bottom breaks yesterday. And because they broke yesterday, what do you not have? you're not going to have anything breaking a lot of key levels to the downside anyway. So that $3 does make some sense. Pretty sure here at Real Trading we can short this one for free. Yep. So yeah, Opendoor. It's a little ways away from the level now, but that feels like a flat bottom break to me. Right through 3.
All right, let's check out who's making all of the. How come I can't? There it is. All the money here today. Let's go over to TIP, which is our trader information portal. This is part of Day Trade the World. Real Trading. Right here, you could see that's just the different markets. Let's scroll down and see. Here we go. The top 10 traders as of yesterday. So as you can see, right now again, Canada leading the way. So you know this is not Neil nor I. We don't trade any Canadian symbols here. TSX, Canada. Someone in the Nasdaq yesterday, so only trading the Nasdaq yesterday, made $11,000. Look at all these Nasdaq names right there sprinkled in with a little bit more Canada. And here's someone that's mixing it up, Amex, Canada, and Nasdaq. So yesterday, I guess no one making any money on the NYSE. There had to have been some sort of a trade that I guess an office or a bunch of traders got all on the Nasdaq there yesterday. With the biggest guy right there with some shares. So congratulations to everybody. Yesterday it looks like a Canada Nasdaq kind of day right there. Here we go. This is just offices P&L. So there will be somebody there in Europe that has traded Copenhagen, Helsinki, Nasdaq, Stockholm, and Zetra. I don't know why this guy, for example, is not in here, but all right. So we'll go by. That's who's making all of the. And of course, we don't have the. We don't have the losses on there. Those are just the winners, but those are real traders, real money, and congratulations if you made that list. All right, 9 o'clock, back to the desk.
All right, guys, we closed out 64.12 yesterday on the ES September contract. We're below 6,400 right now. I was going to say we're going to use 6,400 as resistance, but that is not the case. We're going to look to 6,475 as our support area. We're currently at 84s right now. If we get above 6,400, we're looking at 6,450. But until that time, Brendo, 6,400 as resistance.
As always, wait for it. Wait for it. Okay. As always, if you have not done so yet, make sure you take a second, jump down to the description of this video. Absolutely free for you is the watch list. Comes right to your inbox every single day. All you need is your email address, has everything on it that's moving around in the pre-market, including Walmart, top of the list here this morning. I mean, the overall move, earnings kind of back and forth as well. I mean, there was a little bit of cautionary speak in there, but numbers actually not bad.
Yeah, tariffs were obviously, if you're a retailer, you're complaining about tariffs. I thought it was a great report, Brendo. There was one silver lining. Adjusted EPS was not comparable. So let's talk about how they did. Q2 revenue, guys, that's not a typo. They brought in $177.4 billion in revenue, easily topping the $176.16 expected by the street. With their net income, their take-home money, guys, $7.03 billion, again, easily beating expectations. Adjusted EPS, this is where there's no comp. They printed 68 pennies. The street was looking for possibly 74, but again, a one-line item makes this not comparable, so we'll have to keep an eye on next quarter. Their guidance is also raised, Brendo. They net sales growth of 3.75 to 4.75% for the full year, up from 3 to 4%, with adjusted EPS for the full year between 252 and 262, again up from the 250 to 260 previously guided. Let's talk about how their different segments did. Comparable sales up 4.6%. In the U.S., ahead of expectations. Sam's Club up 5.9%, topping the 5.2% estimate. E-commerce, especially as compared, Brendo, to the Target report we got yesterday. It was anemic, single-digit growth. They're growing their e-commerce at 25%. So fantastic look.
Yeah, that number stood out for me as well. I mean, the U.S. market side of things as well, specifically, a little bit better than expected also. But I'll double check here. We were still getting some comments when we came on at 8:30 from the earnings call specifically. I haven't seen any in a few minutes though, guys, for Walmart.
The one thing you got to look for, I agree with a lot of what Shree said in that it was an overall positive report in a lot of sense. But you're down partly because that full year guide, while it was raised, the midpoint came underneath expectations. And it's not as if, you're not going to, this is not the market where when you've been rallying like this, you're not going to see some sellers. Unfortunately, For a trade, to be honest, for a day trade, I kind of wished it would have done something more drastic like Target yesterday, because I think that would have set up an easy buy off the report. But it just doesn't seem like that's what we got. So all you've got to look for is we bounced off the 50 period at 98. We're only at $100 right now. You saw a swath of names. I mean, like everything seemed to bounce off the 50 period yesterday. So that's the level to work off of today on Walmart. I don't know if we get a chance to trade down there. Target was a very, no, you know what? I can't even say it was similar because Target was down a boat yesterday, but then at the open, just caught a bid. Ended up holding that low and just caught a bid and trended the rest of the day. Well, as I just said, Walmart's low is don't want blue ocean. That's overnight. Or maybe you do and you want to trade overnight in Walmart. No, it caught a bid already at that 98 level. So that's the base. If we can get anywhere close to that, that's where I look for the long on Walmart. But we've already run away from it at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's at $100.
All right. So by the way, NVIDIA right now over 40 cents in, and we're starting to go a little bit higher. Look, yesterday's play was all about Target. Target had obviously a CEO change up there, and not a bad report again from Target either, but losing their CEO and then bringing in the same guy again, basically from Target, not great. They were hoping for a complete change there and maybe in culture and everything like that. So Target there, after everyone sort of digests the news, starts going back to the upside. So I could see Walmart starting to fade back up as well. This climbed the whole day. I mean, this was one of the strongest stocks of the day yesterday, despite it being down 6%. So I still think Target can go, man. I was looking at this 99.50. What about a break there of 99.50? Like, day two play for Target. If they liked it yesterday in what was a little bit bloody there yesterday early, Target went the other way. It only faded one time at 11 o'clock, hit VWAP and went back to the upside. So if we can take out some of these levels, then we'll use 99 as a hold area for Target. So for me, I like this Target long here again today, but we got to get above 99 and show some kind of strength and then break through this 99.60, 99.50 area. So for me, that's going to be a good long. It's a day two play here. I only have a few names on the sticky note. I probably should have added Target. Maybe we'll do that, 99.50 for a break there on TGT. I like this stock, and I think there's some runway here after a disaster day yesterday, but a great recovery. And Target, even on the daily chart here, ticked right down into support and then started to rally. So you're still looking for it to get back up to these levels. It wasn't good enough to do that, but with a new CEO, we give a little bit of time. Like I said, I've liked the culture change instead of just a new CEO, but we get what we get and we don't get upset, and that was just sort of the same old. And Target, I think, can work today. Nasdaq down 0.38, ES down 0.37, so we're pretty similar rate here today. I like Target for a day two play in the long, and then NVIDIA. Oh, we get that 50 print. All right, so we got 50 print. I didn't even realize that. So we get our out there at 50. So that's 50 cents or so off the 174 long right there on NVIDIA. So yeah, so far so good here. Hopefully we'll light the candle today and get some big trades going. But this one so far so good here on NVDA.
Trying to bounce off 175 right now. Just crazy two-way action yesterday for NVIDIA. This is from KeyBank this morning, specifically pointing to China trouble possibly spoiling Q3 in general for them. We've talked in depth over the past couple of weeks here about said China quote-unquote trouble. Whether or not it actually turns out to be is remains to be seen.
Well, the Chinese government keeps telling their tech companies not to buy the H20, Brendo, so it could be trouble for them. UBS taking a bit of a different view today on NVIDIA. Let's talk about it. They reaffirmed their buy rating and raised their price target to 205 from 175, implying about a 17% upside from yesterday's close. The upgrade here really reflects what they're calling strong AI chip demand signals, especially in data centers. We know that their GB200 and GB300 racks, their partners are suggesting that 30,000 racks could be deployed by this year with a strong ramp up, especially in Q4. The demand backdrop remains strong as ever, according to UBS, so we'll have to see exactly how strong that remains going into to earnings. More on that in a second. NVIDIA struck a deal, as we know, Brendo, with the U.S. government to resume sales of that H20 chip in China. In exchange, though, for 15% of revenue from those sales. UBS believes NVIDIA has already placed new Hopper wafer orders and may be developing a specific Blackwell version tailored for China as U.S. exports, ceiling evolve. This could add a few $1 billion per quarter, according to UBS, to NVIDIA's revenue. And last but not least here, UBS expects NVIDIA to post a $1 billion revenue beat for the second quarter, and they report earnings after the bell on Wednesday next week.
Context always key going into said earnings, still very, very high up on this range, guys. This is a weekly chart, so if you zoom out on this thing, I mean, maybe 2 weeks in a row here, can barely even see this move down.
Yeah, it's a pretty good weekly chart there. And if you believe the bulls, I mean, Dan Ives is a bull in AI. There's lots of bulls out there. Then you believe that demand outstrips supply of these chips by like 10 to 1. So there's still lots of room for them to grow. Look, in less than 1 week, we're going to have the watch party on next Wednesday. We're going to get the numbers. They're going to be impressive. Want to hear what Jensen says when it comes to, look, let's be real. Pay for play or not, to get those chips into China, that's $4 billion that you just add. And they just print money out here. So, like, I actually like AMD as a trade today over NVIDIA, but, this daily chart. The only level that stood out to me, because you had this little crazy V shape, is still if we get into the 180s. Somebody thinks it's a sell up there going into earnings, and if we sniff that, then I would want to be fading it. It was too much of a diddle in the middle a little bit, and I thought there was a little bit more clarity on AMD for that bad boy. It looks to me like this is pretty clean if it can break a 168, and then you've got 164 down here on AMD. That looks like a nice little over-under level. Didn't really have any obvious levels to short Intel today, but if the market rallies, probably find something.
All right, right into here, I already solved that puzzle right there. Intel 2350 will be a short, so it's on the sticky note right there, as is the NVIDIA long at 174. So we've already took that. That came in real early on the UBS upgrade into earnings. We'll wait to see what winds up happening here with NVIDIA. But again, I like the trade. I love the trade on Intel at that 2350. We're out of now 60% of this trade. As we're starting to head back a little bit, I'm going to put another offer right here at 23. I'm just paying for coffee here this morning. On these trades, and then we'll wait to see if NVIDIA breaks through 174. We have enough now to not really worry about it. That bottom would be right around here if it does get worse, but you see what the market's doing now, trying to come back. NVIDIA did enjoy this little bit of a bump up here, but maybe it is going to be red in the streets one more time here for NVDA. You know what? I'm just going to get out right here where we got in if we're able to. Right now, just take that. There we go. Punch out. All right, we got O2s. All right, so flat trade there for the end of the day. It's still a well positive trade on NVIDIA, but there it goes, now breaking through 175 or 174. And this is why you want to take some profits. We just bounced completely off the 50-period moving average, so maybe now it's looking like a short. For me, Intel's not on the board. I'm glad Neil brought that up. I do have I think a good short area, 2350. We're almost there right now. So we'll see what winds up happening with Intel. Right into here, 2355. Yesterday's kind of closing area. So this is just an area, but if we break like above 70, then I think we can get out of it. 20 cents on Intel, come on. I mean, we've traded this thing pretty good the last little while, so we'll wait to see if Intel can get going. To my whole thing is we've had great catalysts on Intel over the last couple of days, and it's just done basically this. And now it looks like we already hit those tops that we've already been talking about, and there it goes down. Oh, God. There's a probe in Tesla. It's delayed for their crashing.
Oh, boy.
We already knew about this. Basically, Tesla claims that their FSD basically is accident-proof, but the thing is, just before it gets in accidents, it shuts off. So, and then they go, well, it's supposed to be driver error, so the car's running you into a wall, and then it turns off. It's like, oh, you're supposed to do something about it. But anyways, I don't know. That's just what I heard. Obviously, it's not that bad.
You don't want to do what they did in the office, right?
Yeah. So there goes Tesla.
You got to take control. It's not looking good for Tesla though. That's actually moving the stock right now.
I'm going to go short on it. So
it just broke 20s.
Yeah, we're watching it right here. So I'm going to go short here. See what winds up happening with this move. 321 may be a top take there if we do battle back. I mean, I actually already thought they were looking into this. So
they were.
This doesn't seem like huge news to me, but with a little bit of a catalyst, we'll start the show with a short here in Tesla. Probably give it to that 50 period moving out. We don't have very many shares. We want to see what it does off open. Tesla's one of those wild rides, man, as we know. 322 break is where we'll deal with this if there's a problem. So I'm going to get a little more short here and then see what winds up happening. Tesla to start the day here with news now on autopilot. They're looking into that one more time here. So we'll see. That could be like a reverse story. Like there's nothing here to see. We've already sort of talked about this a bit, but we'll find out if there's more coming for Tesla. Start the short there. NVIDIA and Intel, we like those trades, of course. There's NVIDIA breaking that 174 to the downside. Is CoreWeave a buy? I say yes.
The guys on that report, it looks like it's on the actual reporting of crashes. So not necessarily on the tech, but the probe they're looking into potential delays in Tesla reporting the actual crashes, not necessarily on the tech itself. So could be why we're seeing a little bit of a move back up. Quickly as well, speaking of EVs, XPeng, better part of 6% here again this morning at the highs to the upside. So a couple of days in a row, this thing's still on a tear. NIO being dragged along begrudgingly with XPeng this morning. CoreWeave, let's talk about that. CRWV, there we go. A couple things to note. HC Wainwright upgrading, straight up upgrading to a buy, 180 on the price target for that. Jane Street as well revealing this stake in CRWV.
Yeah, to the tune of $1.8 billion. Brendo, not a bad look. So they disclosed that 5.4% stake in CoreWeave, holding about 20 million shares as of August 13th. As I mentioned, it's worth about $1.8 billion with respect to yesterday's close. The filing with the SEC triggered after surpassing that 5% ownership threshold, required for disclosure. The background here is Jane Street has been accumulating CoreWeave shares since the first quarter when the AI infrastructure firm went public. A May SEC filing showed Jane Street owned about 9.4 million shares at the end of March, meaning its position has more than doubled. The deal here is, though, the disclosure was filed as a 13G, which indicates that Jane Street is a passive investor with no intention to influence corporate strategy or governance. This differs from activist investors, Brendo, who got to file a 13D, not a 13G.
Just keep my eye on Tesla here, guys, trying to bounce a little bit. Once again, if anyone missed that, again, it's on the reporting, the company actually reporting or potential delays in reporting those crashes. CoreWeave has come well off the highs here so far as well. Thoughts?
So it was one of the best performing V-shaped recoveries in the market yesterday. I don't remember much of anything that we looked at in the afternoon show that had broken well through where we dumped at the open and were taking out prior day levels, like 93 there, and it topped out just under 94.5 or so. I'm just looking for a break. It doesn't mean, like, I'm not, like, whatever, Jane Street doesn't really make too much of a difference here. This was on our radar last night, and if it can break out, I like it. It's that simple. And you have a lot of hammer candles. You can throw that in there too. Hammer candle at the bottom, break out the next high. And I think you would have room to get to the $100 level, if not maybe slightly higher. That 103 looks like a solid resistance spot as well for CoreWeave. So yeah, good reversal, much better than the rest of the market. Of course, it's been sliding down. I didn't even bother putting in a dip buy because to me, I don't really have anything till like $89 on this. It kind of stands out as a bit of a level there. So the break for 95 is set, and I guess if it gets to 89, there should be like some kind of mean reversion play in there. It's just a little bit better. We had Bullish up there, right? Like Bullish had a decent day, but I just feel like this made a much better bottom, made a better bottom than Circle or any of the other ones, and Jane Street seems to like it too. So I don't know. They're quant-based, so I guess they have some numbers that suggest it's a good value.
Yeah, I got a CRWV, CoreWeave. Okay, so CoreWeave is here on the sticky note today. I got to refresh this and get that for you. There it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Oh, crowd. Okay, hold on a second. I had to edit it, so now I think it's a new post right there. So here it is right here, CoreWeave. So long off that 95, it's not a JPM stake. It's a Jane Street stake right there. Watching the so I got to edit again. 91 dip buys there for CoreWeave. So yeah, look, I like Neil mentioned, like I mentioned earlier, yesterday was a great move there. Ended near and went positive, I believe, yesterday. So yeah, trying to find some levels to trade off of. We're right here right now, 92.50. Nice, interesting move higher, but we were a lot higher before, up to $95. So this is a nice little pullback into 92. I said 91 as dip buy opportunities here. I think that between 90 and 91, you're looking to hold that. And then if you break through 90, then you can get out. So I'm bidding 91 right now and also trying to take the top through 95. I mean, we're looking for catalysts today. The market's been really doing not much here into the morning. It's been trending downside, that's for sure, but not too much movement here. We have the PMI coming at 945. That's what I noted on the note, that we're looking for PMI. So if those numbers come hotter or colder, we'll see what the market reaction is. But I think you got to wait for this. Either breaks that 95 or you get that 91. You're going to get either one of those, and you may get both of them. So CoreWeave, definitely an aggressive name. I like the fact that there's a story here. I'm going to go short. Sorry, I'm only looking long here on that 5% stake, but it's going to be a 95 break if that happens. If it doesn't, we're away from that. Or a dip buy into 91. I feel like the 91s are going to be coming a little bit quicker than the 95. So yeah, looking for that. And hopefully we get something going with Jane Street and CoreWeave today. I like the long.
Hear an awful lot about this coming up over potentially later today, but definitely all day tomorrow. A lot of people with a lot of questions. If you're hearing Jackson Hole for the first time, we'll give you a little rundown on not only what to expect today, not a heck of a lot, but what is this going to mean not only for equity markets, but coming up over the next couple of days here.
Yeah, well, they don't call it the Super Bowl of the Fed Super Bowl for no reason, Brendo. It's obviously a very big event with interest rates in focus, job weakness, as well as tariff inflation. That will be very much in focus when Jerome Powell takes a stand and gives his speech. It also could be one of his last policy speeches. Obviously, he gives a lot of speeches at the FOMC meetings, Brendo, but his term does expire in May. So a lot of people will be listening to see exactly what kind of rate cutting cycle we're going to be going through in the next year.
Yeah, so this is a weekend event. It does start later tonight, so 8 p.m. There will be some comments coming out. The main event tomorrow, obviously 10 a.m. on Friday. We'll hear from Powell himself. If you go back to 2022, look up Jackson Hole. That's really when it gained its fame or notoriety, maybe infamous notoriety, because that was the first time we heard that transitory term attached to inflation. Since then, this event, again, an annual event in Jackson Hole, Wyoming for the Fed, has just been the highlight of August specifically, right. Maybe even the summer.
I would like to see if they talk about Fed independence as well, Brendo, with the current administration really taking an aggressive position about how they want the Fed to deal with the current interest rate environment. So I'd like to hear a little bit more about that as well.
Yeah, the theme this year is about employment specifically. We were touching on that a couple days ago on whether that was on purpose to kind of avoid or talking about rates and rate cuts potentially altogether, but the two obviously go hand in hand. So we'll give you updates as they come, not only later today, if there are any, but stay tuned. Tomorrow is going to be the main event for Jackson Hole. Let's get to Palantir while we're here as well. Pretty impressive recovery yesterday. This has been a steep sell-off, though, the past couple of days.
$73 billion wiped off the market cap there, Brendo, falling more than 17% and putting $1.6 billion in the pocket of short sellers who finally took advantage of a little bit of a move down in order to grab some money. It still has a very small short interest relative to the size of the company, 2.5% as of the 31st of July, Brendo.
Yeah, we'll see if we can hold, pre-market levels from yesterday coming into play here potentially this morning.
But certainly, look, I know it's percentage-wise it might not be a big short flow, but Palantir and Meta were the most heavily shorted by notional value names this year in the S&P. So like it's hefty. Like, let's be real for a second. And obviously there was some pain for those shorts, and you know what? Shout out to Citron. They managed to time it exactly right. They managed to time it, and they got the temporary top on Palantir. And based on this volume candle, they're probably, if they didn't cover yesterday, I mean, come on, like the biggest volume candle, bigger than an earnings day for Palantir. I got to imagine a bunch of that was covered. 158. We closed at 157.75 2 days ago, and then we got in the aftermarket just shy of that for a complete V shape. That's where I'm looking today. Because to me, the shorts are scared if you blow out that top. So we can blow out 158, then it's a breakaway trade. Otherwise, I think a continuation back in makes a little bit of sense. There was nice volume in around the 150 area for support, so I think if you're looking for the mean reversion, that's a good place to look. But it's a simple over-under at 158. As long as we hold the open range under, I'm looking shorts, but you've got to be willing to reverse when the shorts get cracked on this stock, because you saw what it did off of those lows. It's one, and when it gets going, there's not too much better out there. So it's always worth it if you can catch a break.
I'm going to, so I have an offer out to get out of some Palantir if we're able to at 158 today. That is that pre-market high. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Could it get back into 125 or so? We talked about this the last couple of days. I think this is an area of a little bit of concern. If you can get back into there, then it is a dip buy. I don't know why the 200 period is not loading on this thing. But I think that is a dip buy opportunity down into there between 120 and 125 for Palantir. Yeah, what a great recovery it was there yesterday. We are actually fine. We caught some of these actual bumps yesterday to the upside, and then what a move there. As retail's not stupid anymore, they let these things fall down, then they come in and buy these stocks right back up, and you have these V-shaped recoveries, right? You saw one in AMD, you've seen them in Palantir. These are two very, very strong retail stocks right now. So I don't forget about the valuation. We already know that that's out of whack. What you're trying to do is buy stock that go like this and then go like that. So AMD primed for that move again here today. If we do dip down, look for these bottoms to base out. There are buyers of Palantir out there, and I don't think they're going anywhere. It's 925 right now. We just got those imbalances. So you can see already there's Palantir. I mean, I didn't know it was coming as a buy, and there it is, 300,000 as a buy. Getting bigger, 340,000 now. So yeah, you can hit this stock down for a while. I think it's a mistake to go short off the open. Now, look, if the market was never a mistake to go short, shorts play. But at the same time, let's just wait, let it go a little bit here. We haven't taken anything really off up in these levels, so we'll take something at 158, like I said, 10% or so off in the long-term account, just in case we do get that dip buy, and we can buy 10% back at those low levels. So we've been raising some cash over the last couple weeks. I think you guys have heard me mention those sells, and Palantir will be another one if and when we get to 158, which I actually expect to get to almost right off the open. I think there's going to be a push here in the Nasdaq to see if we can get to VWAP. There's that 23.3. We talked about that level yesterday, and it's right there. So we'll see if this wants to hold or not. 23.3. How to move on the overnight that took it out. Let's see if we can support it again there today and resist upside. Palantir right now, $1 away from me getting out now, which is nice. Tesla's starting to run to the high side. Again, small trading here in the pre-market on Tesla, just like it was small trading on NVIDIA as well. Wow, NVIDIA nicely holding 174 now as well. Let's go find the story about Tesla, and then we'll be ready to get opened out.
All right, Tesla back to the downside here right now. Just real quick on Boeing, I was just seeing a report, quote-unquote report, on a Delta plane. A passenger has spotted a detached wing flap on a Delta Boeing 737. Doesn't actually say the version of a 737, but that was at 12,000 feet. So there was a little downtick there on Boeing when that popped up. So let's talk about Tesla here. We touched on it a little bit earlier this morning. We're bouncing off 320. Version 14 of FSD coming in September.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that. I can't wait to see how good it gets, especially with the other version being a real upgrade. There's also this headline, guys, which is not good. So the the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, said Thursday that they're opening an investigation into delays that Tesla has been apparently engaging in not reporting some of these crashes that involve advanced driver assistance systems. Under the law, you got to report within 5 days, and they said that they found several different instances, Brendo, where it took them several months or more to report it after receiving notice of the crash. So we'll have to keep an eye on this investigation.
Trying to bounce right now, guys, and hold higher here for Tesla.
It's trying to make that bounce. It's still under VWAP. It was a flat bottom break at 27, which for me, that's the only big level that stood out. you do have yesterday's high. That's about it. So 27 and previous day high. It looks like VWAP. That's not going to be a thing for me. The volume weighted average price when you've done this kind of V-shaped recovery. If they're buying it up on that news, then I want to wait. It was a great short through that prior low. And I just feel like this is the area you come into where people might get trapped into a breakout trade on Tesla, because I'm thinking it doesn't do anything drastic until we break this channel, and it's been forming a tighter and tighter wedge. And when that happens, I want to play reversions inside the wedge. I want you bounce off the lows. You short when it tries to get into big levels. And the biggest level outside of the top is the 200 period. That's at 327. So that's the level for myself there on Tesla. There's only one name that we didn't mention that I want to play in today, and that is going to be SoFi. So with that, we got a minute to go here. SoFi is one of the names that is underneath. It did a V-shaped recovery, but we're still underneath the resistance that was prior support at 2280. It can break away from 2280, and you can convince me it's along over there, but until it breaks out that top from yesterday's highs, which was pre-market, then I want to look for the fade in around that $22.80 on SoFi.
Okay, we're going to watch out for CoreWeave is coming up to my 95 level. We'll see if that can trigger in as well. Okay, look, Tesla, look, we went baby short there because of that story. It doesn't look like it's going to be a short. So, you know, here's 22. We're going to take another fill up here at 322, 323 basically, and then stop out if we break, you know, in and around this. Maybe, I don't know, I was going to leave it to 324, but I think if we break that, we could actually even run even more. So 323.50 or so, and we're going to be out of Tesla, and we'll put that L on the board. We should have probably kept our NVIDIA. We are also short on Intel here, but CoreWeave is probably the play to look at. With 3 times daily levered ETFs, make sure you do select Beta Pro X there. Go check them out. Thank you for sponsoring our opening push. Okay, so here we go, man. CoreWeave is, and the market is now open, and we are starting to go. So there goes Tesla. Yeah, Tesla just went to the upside there as well. So there goes Tesla now going. So we get stopped out of that, which is fine. It takes that top level that we sort of thought of. There goes the market as well. So nice little bump up there. We're short Intel. We are out of Tesla. Tesla, I wonder if it just sort of made that top. We could try one more time against 324. Let's just give that a shot here. 324 and change on Tesla. That might have been the top, but if it breaks at this time, then here we go. These stocks, to get involved in names so early is very, very risky. So please, use the right amount of shares so that you can live another day here, as we're doing. That's for sure. So right now it's 10 cents in the money on Intel. Should have got a little bit more up there, and we just missed that fill. To be honest with you, we were waiting at 65s, and it only went to 60. But a nice downside push there for Intel, and we'll cover some of that right now at 37 and start to go a little bit lower. Now we're in the dollar club. Oh, Tesla, you're so silly. You just sort of got us out there at the top, maybe the top. We'll take some more pressure here off this name and get out of some of that short and make a little bit back there. But right now, 20 cents in the money on Intel. That's my clean position.
Yeah, Intel, good look over there. Look, NVIDIA's popping to the upside. We took the short in SoFi as that popped to the upside. CoreWeave, however, yeah, that's
oh my God,
CoreWeave
man.
Just dumped right off of 94, so it doesn't get to that 95 breakout beneath the pre-market low, just canceling temporarily. When you're breaking down like this, I don't want to have a breakout trade where it can snap up $3 and then I'm taking the top, right? So I cancel my order in that situation pretty much every single time, just by rule. I find a lot of times you don't want to get triggered into something where the momentum is not what you expected. I like a breakout where it's trending into it, not blasting off like absolute gangbusters. Weird one at that open. We looked like we were grinding higher. Now everything, position board not working. Now everything going hell lower as the market just broke the low of the day. I'm only in short on SoFi at the 22.4s. It's right at the volume weighted average price and looking like maybe not flushing like we had yesterday, but certainly red to start today.
All right, yeah, there's Intel. Beautiful trade down to the downside. We're also right now $1.50 in the money on Tesla, but just trying to make back our early trade. And boy, man, that NVIDIA, we nailed that one, that's for sure. But we got stopped out when it broke there 170. Well, we didn't. I punched myself out, which I guess is a stop out. And right there on NVIDIA, so a nice move higher for NVDA today, but nice move down also right now in the market. Come on, man. This doesn't. I don't know what Tesla's doing. I'm going to put another bid right here at $1.90 and get some more out for that $1.40, but will it come back into these levels is my question. So we're going to wait for 320, Phil, to see if it comes back for us on Tesla. If not, we have our stop out there, which would be completely understandable if that does happen. Yeah, that miss on NVIDIA. Sorry about that, guys. We were in already. We called 174. It's gorgeous, but to take trades against you that much in the pre-market is very, very risky. CoreWeave, my other trade idea that we were looking at here, does dip down into 91s. We did not get it. We're at 91 flat. It's 91.60 right now for CoreWeave. Still looking to see if it wants to take out some of those high levels one more time. Damn, man. Damn. There goes NVIDIA. Oh, man, that's too bad. That was a great trade that unfortunately we do not have, but we marked it down, so I'm at least glad that some of you have that. And Palantir gets to 150. Oh, we did not get out of our position. 157.45.
45?
Right there at the top.
42. What was your order?
No. I have it at 158. I have in my own account.
Oh, never.
Yeah.
I thought you said yours was at 45.
No. Did you get to short on Palantir? No. Okay.
It got basically right there. So like, no way, you would have been.
I heard you say it got right there. That's why I was hoping it was at 158, but no, I'm at 158 clean.
I actually think this could end up in a breakout trade on Palantir. So I just threw the order back in. It just held the pre-market low, so I'm going to throw that order back in there and see if we can't get a breakout trade in that. SoFi went all the way down to VWAP and then broke out the high. So what are you going to do? It gave us the VWAP trade. We're able to get about 12, 15 cents, but we're risking a little bit less than that. And now this looks like it's blowing out. So market reversing here. This is what it didn't do yesterday. You essentially just dropped at the open and then continue to drop. But I do like that Palantir. I mean, it has to break. The thing about a breakout trade is it's all well and good for it to be bouncing a little bit here, but if we don't actually take out that pre-market high, then there's nothing doing for me on Palantir. Okay, what's AMD doing? AMD's doing nothing. So I thought I was fading the top on AMD, but it doesn't look like that one even wants to go anywhere near the top on Money Destroyer.
I just took the short in AMD. So yesterday we ran this short for a while, and it was a pretty good trade. Let's see if we can break through 164 now again. We might be playing near the bottom here. I don't know, but we're underneath VWAP. We've got some decent levels here. If we break through 165, we can get out of this one. Again, not the right name just to be sitting in waiting for something to happen. If it wants to go, fine. We play that little break right there. It's only 9:35 right now, so still lots of this day to go, that's for sure. But right now in trouble a little bit with a low break here on AMD. We had it yesterday. Yesterday it was different because we actually shorted the top. Right now we're seeing if the market wants to get going. Remember, those PMI numbers coming at 45 in 10 minutes should be something for this market. Yes. So, let's just not get too carried away here. Stop out if the stop out is there, and we will go from there. What's up, Adara?
All cap runner this morning, PTIX, Protogenic Therapeutics, they just wicked here a new high of day above the pre-market high, announcing the completion of their first dose injections in one of their studies. I want to mention as well, as Sean just said, we do have on watch here at 9:45 S&P Services, Manufacturing, and Composite PMI. At 10 a.m., we'll also get existing home sales. So a couple different numbers to watch out for in the next 20 minutes or so. Back to you.
Thank you very much there, Adara. Okay, Palantir just tried again to get to that 158, and no mas pulling right back in as we speak. It just cannot seem to make that breakout at all. Whippy action on Palantir as the market goes right to the top. It looks like we're going to hold.
It looks like it wants to do
It looks like it wants to go. I'm looking at the ES, though, and it's not. Like the NASDAQ.
Whoa, AMD.
Look, the NASDAQ is holding higher and trying to break, but the ES is lagging a little bit behind. Not entirely sure what's going to be dragging the ES at this moment. All right, Palantir doesn't look like it wants to make that breakout at all. It's just not happening on Palantir, and I'm not even in AMD yet. I'm sitting at the $0.50 on AMD, and I haven't been picked up yet, but it looks like the market's strong enough to get there. So Palantir is still a 58 break for me. Will be short any second now in AMD, I do think, as that one looking like it's going to be a little bit strong. And by the way, the order's back in on CoreWeave. CoreWeave is back above 93, headed toward that 95 break.
Yeah, 166 looks like a much better area here for AMD. So why don't we just wait? Like I said, we were trying to be a little bit patient here with the trading today, and unfortunately, we nailed our one long with NVIDIA, but then got out of it, and that's kind of sucks for that one. I do want to look at CoreWeave again. Still looking at 95 break long. That
It could
might be a play. We'll wait to see if that is going to come into play here or not on that one. Plays that we looked at earlier, Walmart with earnings today. So back to 98.50 again, kind of just had a nice move right off the open. Actually, not even off the open as 9 o'clock hit for some reason. We got right into the 200 period there of $100 again. And 101 actually, and now a little bit of a dump move there happening for Walmart back into 98.50. So some of these pre-market levels right now look pretty good there if you can break longer, 98.70. All right, so we're back into AMD short. Again, we talked about, this trade at least was for a possibility for a short. We did get stopped out upside on this trade, which is fine. We'll make some back here, but oopsies, just going short. Am I on the stock? Yeah, I'm just going short here on AMD. Intel's been an absolute monster trade for me here this morning. We lost on Tesla, obviously, and we made on NVIDIA, but we'll get some more out here on Intel. There it is, man, 23.50. We posted it up. We started the show. I said I found a great level for Intel. It was 23.50. It came in. We took it. It's funny because I should have had more short up there. I was waiting at 65s and only got to 60 there in the pre-market. But the same thing could have happened to us like it did on Tesla, right, where we ran the top there. But for right now, here comes AMD. Let's take some more out here. I don't know what it's doing at this 165.
Oh, it's holding VWAP.
Yeah, it's holding it, so I don't like that. So we'll get some more out here at 02s, 01s. Yes, sir. Here it is, man. This is a big trade. Let's just get it in. We need to get this into the downside now. The PMI is coming through. We have our shares. We are in this name right now. We're in it pretty good, but we need to see a downside push because we got stopped out already once it broke that first time right there, 165. But we did play the short against 166 again. So yeah, would like to get this risk to reward proper here. So it needs to break through 165 in order for that to happen. So a little bit of profit there, but we'll wait now. Not much going on. We're waiting for that PMI.
PMI coming through, and wow, look at. So this is the good news for AMD short is the fact that it's heading lower, obviously, but in the face of NVIDIA just absolutely ripping everybody's face off. NVIDIA just super strong in here. When I see this pressing the high, sorry, just quickly show you here. We bounced off VWAP. When I looked over and I saw NVIDIA going ham, I'm like, oh, we've got to cover some AMD. And AMD just absolutely flushing that to the downside. Let's get it to the low of the day here. See if we can't get 164s. So topping tail on NVIDIA, that started to curl. Now the market's starting to curl along with it. Little bit of a fake out potentially at the open here as once again we cannot break out those tops.
All right, monkey right there. Yeah, good trade there on AMD finally bringing this back in. That's NVIDIA. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we posted the 174 and we got out of it. But we go right back, man. Yesterday's number one stock. I think the day before's number one stock. Today, we'll see if it can be number one here. It's very, very early, 9:40 hitting just now. But bye-bye, ciao. We'll see you later. AMD to the downside, man. The trading is right here, right now with this name. And there it goes, flushing AMD. The market's not even really doing anything. And this name is now part of the infamous Dollar Club. So a good little trade there. But we got to get out still, right? So we'll cover some here at 35s and then get a little bit lower right now into this trade for Advanced Micro Devices. Too bad we did get stopped out. Well, too bad, so sad, whatever. Like I said, man, we're not raw dogging these stocks these days. We're getting in and out if we can on that. Here we go, 292.25, 22.95. If we can get another low here on Intel, that will work. So that dog will hunt. Right now, we don't have anything to worry about there. We're going to check back in our guides, CoreWeave. I'm actually going to cancel everything on CoreWeave right now. I thought we could get that move early. The fact that we didn't, we can always refresh and look at this thing in a couple minutes.
It's not dead yet, but
it's not dead.
It's dying though.
I want the long, so that's why I'm not super interested in it right now. Look, if it comes to 91 and bounces off that, and that's the posted level that we have, then fine. It's like we sort of already are having to witness this where we were long right here off our level, and then it goes up $3. So let's hope that maybe AMD can go down $3. And we can make a little bit back right there. But yeah, we're fine. We're not trading on tilt or anything like this. We got a great trade here. We'll see if we can diamond hand this short a little bit. I see you guys in the chat. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to the show. If you do that, you can get part of our chat. And if you're part of our chat, then you can put in here which names, and thanks to Fabian for building this thing, which names you guys want. I'm fresh starting this right now. You got to type in here $something, and then that will show up. It'll start to populate here in our chat. So get involved in this right now. Subscribe, all of that. Lily nonstop. I hope that's going up right now. But there it is. As you guys start to type in, there's, yes, Eli Lilly 714. Let's go. That's making your boy happy. That's almost a $100 club right now. And we just bought that thing like a week and a half ago. We love some Eli Lilly right now. LLY, Neil, still going to the upside. Adding some more of this to the portfolio, I think, was a no-brainer. I am so loaded up in tech. We wanted a little something else. There goes Eli Lilly, up 1.4%, man. That's going to be a good trade, but I just rest right now. On 2 minutes from now, we get the Chicago or the services PMI numbers, and those should be interesting. We'll go to Adara for those in just a couple seconds. Let's see if this market can hold up.
Potential market mover. You never really know how it's going to go, but that certainly can move markets in here. On the small cap tip, Opendoor looks like it's trying to catch a bit of a bid here, so that $3 breakdown doesn't look like it is going to happen. I'm not canceling. I think I still have my order still. I know I did cancel the order when it bounced, so we might not be able to get that one to the south side. But again, if it doesn't break, then you don't have to take it. It's that simple. AMD, you've already seen that starting to fall back down in there. A little bit of strength in NVIDIA, though. You've got to consider how strong NVIDIA, now bouncing off the VWAP. If this takes out the top, I think you can drag AMD along with it. But right now, you're on the back end of the trade, which makes it seem solid as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to keep it in there on AMD, try to get this 164. I tried to reload at that $0.50 again, and it did not fill me up. Oh, but there goes SoFi. I like when SoFi goes up.
We can get 160.
But when I wanted to short it, pre-market high, 22.8, this looks like it's relatively strong. So this is now breaking out. I'm going to guess probably Robinhood going as well, because crypto certainly isn't doing anything at all. So strong move there in SoFi as we're going to go and get this number from Adara at the desk.
Yeah, we're just waiting here at 9:45 a.m. So in about 25 seconds, we're getting S&P Services PMI, Manufacturing PMI, and Composite PMI Services. We're looking here for a number of 54.2, Manufacturing 49.7, Composite 53.5. So we're expecting here S&P Services is going to be, looks like we're expecting a little bit lower than the previous print, and we're expecting Composite also lower than the previous print. Manufacturing, we're looking for it to be slightly lower than the previous print as well. So what did we get in here? Just waiting for these numbers to populate. S&P Manufacturing PMI better than expected, 53.3 versus 49.7 expected. Composite PMI 55.4 versus 53.5. Better than expected, or higher than expected anyway. S&P Services PMI 55.4 versus 54.2 expected. So all these numbers higher than expected. Market pushing a little bit lower here. This is the S&P 500. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq again, guys. Just to recap, all three of the S&P Manufacturing PMI and Manufacturing, Composite, and Services PMI higher than expected. Nasdaq dropping as we send you back to the guys.
Let's go, guys. Like, honestly, let's get this going one more time here. Let's go. The slappers are in the building right now, Neil. This is now $1 here on AMD as that just goes to the low side of 164. When Neil said if we get 164, I'm like, if we get 164, then we'll be printing something up right now. So that is a Brendan Goat-like trade right there on this name for AMD. I hope all of you guys are enjoying the show. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, man. We ain't going to stop ever right now. Sharif. Right now. There it goes. 22.85. Hey, tomorrow you're going to be blessed. Tomorrow and Monday you'll be blessed with the presence of Obi in my chair. So get ready for an unbelievable amount of boys and hopefully some great trades. We've got Oasis concert Sunday night. So we've got hockey and everything all weekend, followed by Oasis concert Sunday night, followed by me having too many vacation days that I have to use up. So
that's part of it. Oasis beats the Kids Bop concert and the sing-along for the Demon Hunters thing that we're doing this weekend.
Yes, very much so. I said to Brennan, the most used sick day around here, Mondays. But
I've never had a sick day on
Bro, I've never been to a place that has Monday flu as much.
I got a case of Monday.
I would too, man. I mean, you get sick on the weekends. There's no doubt about that. But I was thinking to myself, I could just say, hey, I'm sick on Monday, but we'll take a day off there and we'll let everybody know right there. We haven't had a sick day in 4 years.
When the Bills have a Monday Night Football game, maybe I'll have a case of the Tuesday.
There we go. So
that's the way to play it. Look, you know the style. We just broke bottom tail. We just held a bottoming tail on AMD through the 164. That was the target. It didn't get to 167. The short was off the opening range high, VWAP, and then the low of the day. What is also going on here, Palantir just wicked the bottom. Palantir is the kind of stock, I know it didn't break out 158, but if it holds that low, I so much would have rather been long this stock. It's not setting up as a long, so it kind of is what it is. But if we hold on to this low, this is still very much in play for a V-shaped recovery and a breakout of that high. It's just got to do something a little bit more convincing. So out of AMD, and wow, no, that's not right. AMD's already back at 165. It was just 164. We're already back at the 165 level. My sights are now going to be set to Palantir because if this one can somehow make it from bottom to top again, it's got to be a breakout play for sure.
What's up, Holiday Recipe? I mean, I can't be here for my, who's doing this? Me? Well, what's up to Beta Pro? I'm not ready for this read, but you guys can hear right here. Holiday Recipe, thank you so much for the super chat right there, man. AMD yesterday and today, Intel this morning. I say salute to you, but thank you so much for watching the show, because if you don't watch the show and support the show, then you don't get to see these trades. Of course, all these trades are for free on the sticky note, but it's great to see also that you guys are enjoying the show here with us one more time, and we want to thank everybody for joining us. You can see Neil's not in position right now, but you can see the positions at the bottom of the screen at any time right there. But Beta Pro, if we can do this, exciting news for our Canadian sophisticated traders. Beta Pro by Global X Canada has just launched 6 new triple levered ETFs offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P TSX, 60, the semiconductors, and the U.S. Treasuries. Even better, guys, they're offering a special fee rebate, so get in on it now. They're dropping fees to just 65 basis points until December. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3 times daily to learn more. So thank you, Beta Pro, for continuously sponsoring this great show of ours. Yeah, man, that was good. We like that 164 came right in there for AMD, and like we say all the time, you know, you got to have outs when outs are there. We are looking at those numbers that Adara just dropped for us, and we were very concerned about what these numbers were going to come out as right there. So the PMI, it actually comes out better. So PMI for August, 53 versus 49, and then 55 versus 54 for global services. So global manufacturing higher, and global services higher as well, and then the composite higher. So everything right now 3 for 3 there on higher than expected PMI numbers, which generally should lead, I guess, to this interest rate cut that we're kind of looking for there. But PMI, you know, again, another read, a little bit on inflation there, being a little bit higher would tend to maybe hold rates to where they are. They seem that those numbers were 2 or 3% higher than expected. Doesn't seem like too much, like 54 versus 53s, stuff like that. So I feel pretty comfortable that the Fed and, well, we'll see tomorrow. Jackson Hole is going to be big when he talks about, you know, what sort of the direction is and the descent in the Fed. We had 2
Or spends half his time talking about Fed independence.
No, I'm not sure he will talk too much about that, but
it'll come up because they're going to have to.
I think he'll just push it.
They'll have to address it to at least some extent. Okay, so I didn't pay for my locates on BMNR, which is silly. You should always be prepared.
Silly.
Yeah, it's just every single morning you pay for your locates. I pay for locates on CoreWeave thinking we're only going long, but I forgot to pay for locates on BMNR, which I just got for 0.0003 cents per share. What I notice here, which is going to be unbelievably obvious, is I've missed the short off of 51. That was the level I liked. I liked the 52 level most, but missed the short off 51. But look at how many times it's failed this with the sellers winning in the higher lows. So yes, I just paid for locates, but I'm not silly enough to just use them when suddenly this looks like a bit of a V-shaped recovery. So I'll wait for this to break trend or do something decidedly weaker to the downside. It's Palantir that seems like it's got something going here. It's starting to break trend, like downtrend, broken, sort of, and it's trying to hold on to the volume weighted average price. So if we're not going to get the 158 break up here, then I want it to close above VWAP, and I can look for a break long. If it resumes underneath, I said over under and didn't short the level. The under means I should be shorting it because it's under 158, and that can be at this volume weighted average price. So this candle is going to be key for me on Palantir.
Right, so we just got a 158. Oh yeah, not 158 yet. Okay, it just went to 164 again, so another $1 and change. We didn't bid anything out. We'll do it here if it comes back in for us. I still think we go lower here in advanced micro devices. My wife is like not obsessed, but she's a big like natural. What do you?
Naturopath? No,
not naturopath. No. Just not horticulture,
lover?
but yeah, just loves all these kind of things here. And we have our own like not indigenous. When you have the plants that are made for the area. Oh man, I got to ask her what it is. But anyways, we have different. Plants around our house trying to attract butterflies, and she just sent me this. It's pretty cool here, and it's funny because it's topical. A rare zebra butterfly, it's called, right now spotted in High Park. So it was last spotted in 1896.
What?
Yeah, so there it is right there, the rare zebra butterfly spotted in High Park. I will be at High Park tonight because it's baseball night. There we have our last game of the regular season. We'll see how hopefully that goes. I'm not sure my daughter will be able to make it. She has hockey at 6:15 and then baseball at 8 o'clock. So we'll see if we can go from one to the other there tonight. But shout out to Marissa. Thanks for that, man. A zebra
Does she have a favorite? Just out of curiosity for myself.
Favorite butterfly?
No. Okay, nothing. Not that that's not interesting. No, Gia.
Native plants.
You can tell I like sports.
Her favorite what?
No, between baseball and hockey.
Hockey is not even close.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Pretty much every. So the funny thing is I've trained these girls for 4, 5, 6 years, and obviously we play in a mixed league for the house league. It's boys and girls, but most of the girls that have transferred over into hockey. It's hockey is their number one sport. So
I mean that's
now, it's
Canada, right? So.
Not just it's Canada, it's hockey. Like honestly, hockey is. I even have like a lot of I don't know what it is about it, but it's the camaraderie. It's just the way the game is. Hockey, I don't know. It's something else. I see it all the time, and the passion. And I'm a rep baseball coach. The passion that I see in these kids for hockey, and even these are the most passionate, even baseball players. I just feels like it's a little bit next level. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's
maybe it's just the aggression of the sport and all that, and just
we had a couple of
the fact that you're like actually spending time with your teammates like outside of baseball, like and hockey. Hockey's more of like like I told you about before, you're in the locker room and you're doing stuff like that. It's a little different than baseball.
I think it depends on the team because there's a lot more travel ball now than there was.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid.
So much fun.
When I was a kid. Well, first things first. Look at the top ending tail candle on Palantir. Took one shot at it underneath the volume weighted average price. Once it broke out, don't want to fight it. I'm either getting my breakout long for the over, or we're going to play any kind of a short setup. So we got under VWAP, put in a hammer, but once it broke VWAP, I'm out. But one of the things when we were kids, there was one or two, at best, teams you could play on for your city for baseball. Now there's like five select teams. It's like there's like this level, that level, then there's an elite level, then there's an Ontario team.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like if you didn't make your city team, that was it. Go back to house league when I was a kid. And now you have like 4 other places that you can play, which I guess it's good in some ways, but some of it feels like in baseball it's a bit of a cash grab, to be honest with you.
All kids stuff is cash grabs, man. And they charge you what, $25 to jump on trampolines. I mean, let's
and then every birthday party has to be that
let's be perfectly honest here. I mean, it's all a cash grab. I don't even want to talk about how much money we spend on sports in a year. You're talking about more than, I don't even make that much. Okay, so here we go. AMD to the downside right now. We're now $1. I mean, this helps pay for it. When you're $1.80, $1.90 in the money on a trade here for AMD. I mean, look, I feel very obvious the way I trade, right? Try to find momentum, try to find plays. We tried that with Tesla today, and unfortunately now it's going to be coming down. But this was, again, just to have been more patient on this would have worked. I think 324, 325 would have been a great level there for me on Tesla. And we just were not sure where this market wanted to go. So we take the L there in Tesla for sure. We props up everybody that was able to make money on that or hold the short like I was not able to. I mean, we were short right here, 323, 23.50. So that's $2 in the money. But we did take the L on that. And there it goes, coming right back into the downside. But now this is $2 now in the money, and traders unite, guys. These are big trades, man. They're happening all the time right now in this market. Just get ready for it. I mean, I'm sure Palantir is another one of those names here that's probably on the way to the south side.
Well, that's the plan. If you underneath VWAP, then that's where I want to short it. I preferred the long in Palantir. I said it a million times. Okay, SoFi broke trend and I didn't get it, so
Ooh, so far.
Well, it broke trend. It is what it is. The thing with a trend break is you're waiting for it to set up. Instead of looking at a level, you're looking for a line on a chart that you have drawn to break underneath it. So you get like that one moment where it can work for you to be able to get that entry. And then after that, you've just got to hunt to see if you can find something on it to the entry point. Wow. This thing was like 70 pennies in the money, and then all of a sudden we cannot break back down. Palantir is just so strong. My bias was long side on it, and I'm going to lose twice going short at the volume weighted average price. Target low of the day gives you like $1.50 worth of range. So risk to reward, it's still setting up here pretty decently, but I'm going to have to take some out at that 155. If the buyers want to keep arranging that level and solidly bouncing off it, then we're just going to have to take some out there. What I was getting at with SoFi, just to be able to show you, so when it does this and breaks the uptrend, like this is your entry, and you've got to be able to get it in, as it's breaking down through that level. Otherwise, you're just sort of chasing it, and then you're getting yourself into a world of trouble when you do that, because the risk to reward doesn't make any sense if I'm shorting it at VWAP, which is also a rule of mine that I don't want to do. I know there's some small cappers that people have been mentioning in the chat. This APM, which I don't know, and there's also Sunrun. We didn't get into. I don't think we talked about the solar names, but no new solar contracts.
Right.
That's what the president said, or at least that's what he tweeted about, or I guess posted about. Sunrun, Flush, I guess that makes a heck of a lot of sense. It's down 5.5%, and now making another run to the downside here as it loses VWAP.
I have to steal Obi's thunder and just go, oh boy, right now, everyone make sure you hydrate. This is now $3. Like, we are really losing it here on AMD, which was, again, we talked about how good this stock was for me yesterday off that short. Like yesterday we were more patient with it. Yesterday we actually have this short right there. And then right now we have this. Wow, this actually looks a lot better than I thought. Here goes AMD to the downside. $2.55 in the money. Let's go find out something with Adara.
We're just waiting here in about 12 seconds. We'll get existing home sales prints. We are looking for, I guess, the forecast here, 3.92 million. Let's see how this comes out. Home sales change. We're looking here negative 0.25%. What did we get here? $4.01 million, 4.01 million existing home sales, not dollars there. So 4.01 million existing home sales, higher than the forecast of 39.2. Existing home sales change on a month-over-month basis, 2%, well above the estimate of negative 0.25%. So again, higher than expected here for these home sales prints. The Nasdaq just continuing to push lower. Walmart on watch here. Earnings day one. It's definitely retail earnings season. We had Target yesterday. Today we have Walmart with a mixed report, beating on sales but missing on earnings per share. Tesla on watch. This one greening here into low of days this morning. We did have some news that apparently the U.S. Auto Safety Agency is starting an investigation into some delays with regards to Tesla's reporting of crashes which involves their advanced driver assistance systems. So Tesla on watch, Walmart on watch, and lots more very exciting sessions so far. Make sure to like and subscribe as we send you back to Sean and Neil.
To say the least.
No question about it. And wow, that Tesla right back in. It's just unbelievable how quickly that one reversed. But the Palantir buyers, they're long and strong. That's just it. It was just down at the low of the day, and the 155 has won again on Palantir, ultimately. So the buyers just keep on coming into this stock rampantly when it gets to the 155 level. And Tesla, as I was just mentioning just a second ago, don't sneeze, right back into 321. I like 27. It's still an inside day overall for Tesla. Like, it hasn't broken pre-market lows. It's barely been above the pre-market high. So all you've been doing is rinsing back and forth and around. So I'm not going to touch this thing on Tesla. It doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense to me, the price action, unless we break out of the range. 27 was a level. We wait for 27. But Palantir, just going to have to accept that this one might only be a long. It worked off VWAP for a little bit, so we got some back, got half of it back on the last short, but there was just no follow through into the low of the day. This does have the feeling of a long to me on Palantir. So I'm going to switch, and if we can close above VWAP, I'm going to play it in the other direction. Otherwise, we're not going to be in Palantir again.
All right, yeah, good little flip up there on PLTR. And yeah, sometimes, these things will happen and we get a little offside. That has happened to me many times on that. So that's a fun stock because of how much it can move, of course. And we got another fun one here, I think, anyways, with AMD. So we'll have to wait to see where that winds up going. I want to look also at CoreWeave. This was another idea that we had today with Jane Street taking that 5% stake there and posting that they have it. I thought that it could have ran up there. They would have got some of their algos a little bit runny there, but it doesn't look like that's happening quite yet. So CoreWeave right now with a chance to go. It's a really great battle back here for the market. So we probably should have flipped up long on some of those numbers, and we didn't really do that. So we just wait for our AMD trade to get back higher and then able to get out more, get more back in if we can come back up to this 165 area. For right now on AMD, I have less than 10% left on this trade. So, a lot of the outs are right here. Then we got out some more here. We probably had about 30% left there, got 20% out on the downside. So yeah, happy obviously with the performance here of the stock so far, but still some more work to be done now on AMD. Would like to get a little bit more, but all right, let's go back over and find out some more stocks which you guys may want to trade. I did want to look just quickly before I go anywhere else at Walmart, just to see what that's doing. So 98, it does make that low tick into 97. I remember last earnings report was not so great either, and they made a move up and then covered that all back just before today. Eli Lilly was one that we were interested in earlier. That's 7-Eleven. Right now, shout out to Adara. Right there for Eli Lilly. SoFi's up 1%. Pew right now up 5. We'll have to check out what that's doing. There's my Tesla. Basically, the only red stock I have today. Tesla is what it is. Opendoor not really moving around. CoreWeave now trying to get going. So good little look there. Palantir flat on the day. Neil's tried to dance with that one a little bit. So we'll check out a little bit more Palantir as we go. Of course, Robinhood, 106. So, we've seen it a lot higher. I think the high is 118, 119 there for Robinhood. So still down that 10 to 15% off of its all-time highs. I think it gets back up there. NVIDIA, we had a great play on that one. Let it go too early, obviously, in the pre-market there. Big Bear AI, where is that thing at $5? That's the last time we bought this was 3, I guess, but there's the buys were 5, 4, 3 on the way down for Big Bear AI, and looks like it may be doing that again. Marvell back to 71. That's going to be a good call to look at that stock as well. So most of these names on here, Neil and I will focus on as the day continues. But I'll just, before I throw it over to Neil, just because it was on the list there and we don't want to ignore it. Robinhood, so up 1% today, stronger than the market, much stronger than the market. And I think that this name, again, bouncing off the 50-period moving average, what a strong look this has been. It's hard to think that there's a huge amount of upside in Robinhood, but breaking through this 118 gives it to it technically. You better not trade Robinhood if you're worried about valuations. But this name, again, just from April, it's up almost 4x from April. So that's 4 times up in 4 months. So a double up every month right there for Robinhood over the last 4. Congratulations on that one. As a storms are brewing in Robinhood land. Intel, we just got out there. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to take the rest out on Intel. There we go. We'll get some 11s there immediately out on Intel. Flatten that trade as we get right back to VWAP. If anything, I may go short the market at these points, but I'll pass it back over to see what Neil's thinking about.
Well, some people have mentioned Coinbase to me. Just going to quickly point out, seller 305, exactly like it was yesterday. So I don't know if that one's going to be the one, but I think we made the right call on Palantir. Is the buying that just came in again at 155 has this one starting to go. So it could still take out that 158 for the breakout trade, but I'm buying VWAP instead of selling it this time as it just continues to go higher and higher. And CoreWeave, very close to the 95 break. That's the thing about a plan is you can be really patient with it, and it doesn't want to break, ends up going into the dip. The market's now starting to look a heck of a lot stronger, and suddenly you've got a big-time V-shape. I mean, it's not like yesterday, because yesterday we trended down a heck of a lot more. But we broke the lows. Now we're trying to run the highs again. Another reversal pattern, just not quite as deep as what we saw in yesterday's trade. So this breakout is still going to be very, very valid. And that Pew stock, we used to have an animation for this, but unfortunately, I can't hit it for you. Room was all over that one like a sniper. This lost VWAP and has almost no volume. 400,000 shares in volume at 10 o'clock. So that is what I call a no-fly zone. Like, you want a runner, you want to have volume. I'm just randomly throwing up Like, there's not even a catalyst for Big Bear. 8 million shares at a similar type price. That's what you want for a runner, something a little bit stronger, something with a little bit more juice to it. At least that's what I'd be looking for. So just going to go right back over to some of the names that I know you guys are interested in. As I said, Palantir is going to be on my radar. Certainly AMD is right back at 164 and VWAP. I always like VWAP for re-entries when you're trending in one direction or another. So the VWAP entry, looks like it's confirmed it. Always wait for it to get to VWAP, and I try not to take it on the way up. But man, sometimes on the way back down, like that initial candle when it fails, the swath of selling that comes in can be absolutely nonsensical. That looks like what's happening here in advanced micro devices. It's either that at VWAP or this CoreWeave break that's going to be next. My guess is CoreWeave based on the tape, because CoreWeave's tape it's going a little bit ham here. I would expect this has a very good chance. It's about 40 cents away, so got to be locked and loaded. Crossing up the quarters, should be able to get that. Liquidity looks fine. Spreads generally like 5 to 10 cents on this. So I think if it breaks, we'll be long 95 change here on CoreWeave. Seems like the next one to go, with the market right back at highs and threatening to go green on the day, is the Nasdaq. And today, the Nasdaq and the ES basically doing the same thing. So both of them could go green.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take that CoreWeave trade. I mean, this is the one, it's one of the #1 stocks that we had on the list here today. So we should probably look at this if it does break. So I'm glad that we're talking about that right now. AMD with a little bit of a pullback. Let's just take a little bit of a bid here at 60. Here we go at 60s. So we get filled there on a pullback. We should have shorted VWAP. We didn't do it. You know, is what it is for now on that one. We'll have to wait to see where we go now in this market. We've already talked about a lot of names. So let's just check out what's going on with Bullish. Now, we did have some good days or a good day yesterday on this name. Let's see if we can, you know, potentially do something again here with BLSH. Nice move there, trying to take out the tops right now on Bullish. But the CoreWeave trade is really the one that I think, I mean, it should hit next. It makes its way all the way up there to that 95 area. You know, we spotted this right there. I like the break. It was the pre-market high. It could fail, and if it does, the spread is not the greatest, right? I mean, it can open up a lot here on that name, obviously. So we're going to have to be very, very careful with this breakout. If it does come back in, maybe $1 or so worth of risk. There it is. So now we are long on CoreWeave. So let's now wait to see where it goes. Stop out breaking, I guess, below. Let's get out of like half if it maybe breaks below 50s or so, and then we'll deal with it after that. So here we go for CoreWeave. Let's see if we can get a nice upside trade. Again, this is the posted trade on the sticky note. You probably have it on your note as well. I don't know. But here we go, CoreWeave breaking through 95. Let's see what winds up happening.
It is, and I like it to the prior bar, which is at the half. It's coincidental. It happens to be at the $0.50. You can't really make that stuff up, but wherever it ends up being, this is where I hold the break to, not anything further. And if it gets to the volume weighted average price, that can be like a failed break dip buy, because I'm only looking long on this stock. I really wasn't thinking about anything short, but if it can't hold on 94.5, then I wait for 93. Don't want to hold it all the way against. All right, Palantir. Palantir is also gearing up for a potential breakout, but that's at 158. Still about $1 away on Palantir. I'd like to be able to snag VWAP to the long side, but that doesn't seem to want to come down. And remember, everybody, you know, we haven't even talked about the earnings names today, and I feel as if, like, the fact that Walmart was down today and talking about inflation concerns, and really the market to go green today, I think would be pretty bullish, considering we have Jackson Hole coming up. And
yeah.
A lot of people think the tone from the Fed is not going to be favorable for us, but I think the light of the buying is pretty good considering all of that. Let's go to Adara, I believe, at the desk.
Yes.
I just want to let you guys know about PDD. I don't have any news on this. I checked social media. I'm not seeing too much. But yeah, I mean, PDD just put in a pretty significant topping tail candle. I saw it on a volume scanner, so decent volume with this as well. Pinduoduo could also be potentially in watch here after we had Billy earnings today. Could be some sympathy either way. PDD, guys, making a topping tail candle, now moving lower. Back to you.
I just want to say, like, right now, CoreWeave is like not going. So I don't know, man. We marketed in. We didn't market in. We had a limit, but we get 95.11s, which is pretty much the high. The high rate here is 95.23. I thought this would have flowed. Like,
usually it works right away
off this level. So the fact that it hasn't, I'm I'm excited about it still, but not really. If it does break, like I said, we have a decent amount of shares. So if it breaks, I'm going to get out 94.5 for half of the position and then deal with the other half after that. And I just don't want to get like wicked out, not wicked out, but like taken out on a dump there, and then it rallies back, because sometimes I get, see, like right there, it only goes up as high as 20s again, and we didn't take it out. So I'm sitting at 30 to take out a quarter, and then if something happens, a quarter, sorry, less than that. Well, yeah, actually 20%. So if it does get up to there, then we'll get out. But otherwise, man, 50 cents worth of risk. The slippage is probably going to be great. So I think we'll probably wind up losing 30 cents or so, 30 cents extra maybe. So maybe 80 cents on the hit there if that is what winds up happening. But hopefully we can hold and just break through some of these levels.
Looks pretty
there
strong
it goes.
to me.
Yes, sir. Here we go, man. The cash is now starting to come in on CoreWeave. So let's go. Here we go. Yes. So there we go. See if we can get it now. We're going to wait at 96 now to see if we can get something over there for CRWV. But yeah, so far so good. You know what? Screw this. Like I said, man, everybody knows their own book. So however many shares you guys have, figure it out. But there it goes. Nice move to the upside. Again, we're going to go like pretty huge on this sticky note again here today. Intel 23.50 short. That was almost $1. CoreWeave 95 long right here. And then NVIDIA 174 long. So far today we've given you 23. I've given you 23.50 short Intel. We've given you 74 long on NVIDIA. I don't even, if that came in again, then pie on my face. And then the other trade is 95 long right there on CoreWeave. So the big trade, though, is AMD, but we're going to have to wait to see if CoreWeave can sort of match that power and get through the upside there. So we take another piece out at 95.50, and now we're going to wait to see where we go from here. CoreWeave, so far, so good. Now it's at least 1-to-1 for our risk to reward, so it's getting better here for CRWV.
It still hasn't had a red candle since on the 3-minute since 9:54. So it's been a while.
Been a minute.
On the 15 though, it looks really, really good on the 15-minute. It looks pretty strong. You had liquidity grab the bottom on everybody, and now you're breaking out the top. 98. If we get through 96, 98, I think is the next stop on Core. But you still have to get to 96, and we haven't. So I'm half out on the half dollar when we get that 1-to-1. AMD did not fill at all in VWAP. Oh, did I cancel that order? I did. I must have canceled the VWAP order. It never got there. It doesn't matter. It didn't get to VWAP, so who cares? Wouldn't have got back in at the volume-weighted average price because it never printed to the volume-weighted average price on NIO. But the market is going and looking relatively strong here. And looking over, Apple about to go green, Microsoft, if it'll load in a second, has gone green and is absolutely flying to the upside. So a lot of strength coming into the market here. Do want to be favoring the longs when I see that. And Opendoor, no. Oh, the other way. Opendoor's going the other way to the upside. All right, now I for sure am canceling that $3 breakdown trade. That is not going through $3 today at this current rate. So even Opendoor, squeeze name starting to run here. And we had a V-shaped recovery yesterday, and the buyer's back in force right in front of our Jackson hole, which I'm still thinking the tone is going to be against what the market wants, but we're buying into it anyways.
All right, Ozan, man, you're making me even look more foolish. Like, why don't I just trust myself? Thank you, Ozan, for taking this 91 dip buy on CoreWeave. I didn't forget that we had posted that because we posted it, but there's the 90, how does that look? 91 dip buy posted on CRWV there today. So again, guys, like I won't be here tomorrow or Monday, but check out Neil and Obi for their trade ideas tomorrow. But yeah, Ozan, congrats, man, on that one. I can't. We had posted it up and we didn't take it ourselves, but you did, so that was a good one there. So congratulations, and for that, Ozan, you've been here for a while, so we do that. That is your sort of thing that you've always said you liked. So there it is right there, the cash cow there on CoreWeave. Let's go. We're starting to get even higher. We're waiting at 70s now on CRWV. So again, the good trade is over here right now, I think, with CoreWeave. We'll see if we can continue to make a little bit of cash on this one. And yeah, there it is right here, Ozan. get into the chat so I can see that. He took the 91 entry as posted on the note. So congratulations there. The cash cow is in the building. Yeah, no, it's you guys are the ones, honestly, that are making these trades. So thank you so much, Migs. Please tell this to my wife. I'm a genius. Yeah, that would be nice. My kids too would like to hear that probably. LFG says, Ozan, yeah, man, this is just real talk, man. I mean, this is why we're putting these up, trying to show you that the average person can do this, and trying to beat all the odds and just have fun with you guys here. We say that every single day. And on that note, just hit the like and subscribe. Giving these trades, I know we're making money on them. I hope you guys are as well. Over 1,000 of you. There's 8,600 watching right now. So keep the good vibes flowing here on Trader TV Live, and thanks everybody for continued supporting us. Go follow me at Trader TV Sean for hopefully some more trade ideas. And again, thanks again, Tony and everybody there. Thank you, Fun Bubble, as well. You like my trades. I really appreciate it. I don't take as many as others, but hopefully the ones that I do can provide some sort of excitement. Tesla definitely did this morning. That was an L there. The CRWV is working. The Intel was huge. The NVDA was great, but like you all know, we punched ourselves out of that one. And then the AMD trade was $3 in the money at one point, but battling back right now, AMD. So yeah, pretty good so far. We'll look to see if we can get some other trades here, but let us know what you guys
doesn't look as good.
Yeah, CRWV. So I'm out of almost half of CRWV now. So
I just took another leg out. I'm down to a quarter because for a breakout trade to do this, and then I just saw some selling come in at the 95.5 again, 95.5 obviously, doesn't look nearly as strong as before. So if it goes into VWAP, my stop is tightened to the prior bar from here, 94.75. It's just easier to say. The 3/4 mark, to me, is going to be the new out. And if it goes to the volume weighted average price, then that's going to be the place where we want to look at it. You can YOLO trades if you want.
Yeah, do
certainly,
not.
but I just saw someone goes YOLO, Neil, YOLO. Never. That's I don't believe in that stuff. You're not going to hear me or YOLO into any trade or anything like that. It has a plan of action. I have a stop. I'll tell you exactly where the stop moves to. And it breaks a stop, I'm not in the trade anymore. I'm out of court. I just told you guys I'm going to get out at 94.75, so that's where I'm going to jump out of the trade. I just try to do the actions that allow me to be consistently positive, and to try to do that day by day, month by month, right? So if I see something that breaks my rule for a breakout that makes me tighten up stop, I just go ahead and do it and trust in the fact that if you do that over time and follow your own rules, then you will be okay. Some people like to hold that. That's just not my cup of tea, for sure. So you got to do you. The Russell just went green, as someone put in the chat, which is a good time to go to Adara with a small cap recap.
Also, I'm just seeing here, keep an eye on GOOGL, S&P Global apparently teaming up with Google Cloud for better data access, I guess, for the commodities industry. So good look here for GOOGL and S&P Global. Let's talk here about IWM. As Neil mentioned, just going green. Great double bottom here if you look at the action we had on Wednesday with that low around this 223.75s area. Bit of a double bottom there. Now we're pushing higher. Let's take a look here at PTIX. Mentioned this one earlier. This is one of the better small caps earlier today, at least. Protogenics here announcing they've completed the first dose injections in their phase 1 study of one of their treatments. So good look for this one. Then we've got SLQT. This is actually an earnings play for this better than expected guidance for sure here for SLQT. Last but not least, ALXO. Couldn't find any catalyst in this one. They did have one on Tuesday morning, so they've been on watch earlier this week, but I will mention as well with ALXO, which is ALX Oncology, they have about a 12% short float. Back to you.
That's not a bad short float. 12%'s not too bad. But, it looks like, sorry. Is this really your name in the chat, Sharif's Lips? Okay, fair enough. How do you determine your stops? Every trade's a little bit different. If I take, I'm just going to show you a quick example. Like a trend break on Palantir, let's just say. See this upward trend? If it breaks this trend line, then when it breaks the trend line, the prior bar in the 3-minute is my out. On a breakout trade, 9 times out of 10, the way I would look at it is on a breakout trade, as we're breaking here, I'm generally going to give it to, usually it's a key prior high. The pre-market doesn't always matter. But initially, I'm going to give it to usually it's a quarter, or I can give it to, again, the prior bar as it consolidated. So when it consolidated here and broke out the top, that bar was to 50, so I give it to 50. When I see it reject up here at 55, I just give it to the bar that rejected on the 3-minute. I'm using a 3-minute chart. I use a 3-minute chart for the ins and outs, for the outs at least, when determining where they're going to be. There are some situations where you're doing support and resistance, and your out can just be that support level. You know, like if I have supported like $100, maybe I'll just put a stop at $99.99. But for a breakout trade or for a mean reversion trade, I'm usually using some version of the prior bar on the 3-minute. That's what I use for my stops. So if we get to VWAP on CoreWeave, I'd look for another long back in here. But I see in the chat, once again, UNH is going. 1.5% to the upside. Maybe Warren's buying, maybe Berkshire Hathaway. At some point, I will adjust to saying Berkshire Hathaway instead of Warren Buffett. Buying some more shares. A lot have said that he has 312 as his price, but that's now 1, 2, 3 days in a row that 300 is held. I said if we hold this for the week, that I'm just going to go out on a limb and start making the assumption that there's a buyer at the $300 level and take another shot at this stock. So we have one more day for it to hold the 300, but you don't care about that if you're a day trader. It's holding today and looking absolutely fantastic there on UNH. I also believe that the stock, just go to the daily chart here, still has big resistance at that 328 level. There's a breakout trade potentially here as well, where you have a lot of upside if it can finally chew through this 320 to 328 range that it's never, well, I shouldn't never, that it hasn't been through since that big flush that we had back in May. So UNH looks good, but I'd love to see it either breaking out that top, hold the week, and I think a swing trade, this is what I would do for swing trading. People can do whatever they want. I was in it at 280 and it did almost nothing. But if you could break off and hold this 300, then I'd like an entry on Monday if it's still between 300 and 330, and then I use a 50 period as an out. I like the 50 period for stops. Just ask Viking about that one. Let's take care of some business.
Yeah, we'll take care of business. The market is really ripping upside right now, but you've seen Trade the Pool on here with us, and now Trade the Pool has created something special for you. It's a free ebook featuring 4 proven swing trading strategies from Trade the Pool's top funded traders. Inside, you'll see exactly how they approach the markets, how they manage risks, and what setups they rely on, so you can learn and grow with them. Download it now by scanning the QR code on your screen or hitting the link in descripcione. So check that out right now on your board, on the screen right there. Thank you to Trade the Pool for continuously sponsoring that and therefore allowing Mitch to come on. Mitch is coming here very, very soon. So he'll be here in October, and that should be a lot of fun to have Mitch come through. I think it was middle of October, something like that. We'll make sure. He's already promised to take us to a Jays game, so we'll see if that
works the other way
goes through.
October?
Right now. Yeah, remember we talked about playoff baseball. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm already going to be at every game.
Yeah, okay. So
we got an extra.
So Mitch and I will
prepare for the playoffs.
Oh, good, nice. That should be good. We'll be able to sell those for sure. All right, so back in right now. There goes CoreWeave. So we did stop out there 94.50 when it broke higher there, or broke lower, sorry. But never fear, we're back in. We just wanted to buy it. I mean, again, should have waited, I guess, and bought a little bit of a better price on CoreWeave. But we bought some 94s there. If we would waited for the 200 period, it would have been a little bit better. But these are my stop zones right down there where VWAP is, where the 200 period averages. So right now we're long at 94.50 and pretty satisfied about that. So let's just wait to see where we go from here now on CoreWeave. I do have another stop out, a take profit if we can get back to 95 for another 50 cents. But like I said, I'm not sure where we're going here right now on CRWV. So let's just hold it. If it breaks those lows, which it may do, then we can no problem get out. We are waiting for more of a trade opportunity anyways on AM. This looks like it's going to break right now. On AMD, if we can get shorter on that, then fine. Looks like CoreWeave just hits that. We nailed the 95 level, but our best out is only 75. So, not a great story there on the out, but not horrible either. Looking for more here for CoreWeave, and it doesn't look like it's going to give it to us today, so we can back out. No, I do not hold CoreWeave in my long-term portfolio. Good.
I don't know anybody that bought that.
Yeah, good question. Yeah.
In the chat, we saw
Kramer was going
I saw people in the chat talking about getting Figma is an allocation. I saw people in our chat talking about bullish. Some people got allocations to bullish. And I remember that for Circle. I don't recall seeing anybody here. In the chat, just let me know if you own any CoreWeave in your personal account, not a swing trade or a day trade, then throw a 1 up there. And if you do, well, if I say you don't put a 2, then everyone's going to put a 2. But I'm going to throw a 2 in the chat because I certainly don't own any of those recent IPOs. And I have zero interest in owning them. I like to play later on in IPOs. Like after it's settled down, the old IPO breakout trade, that's the way to go about it. So we have somebody at least has it. There's a few ones in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was pumped. I mean, Kramer loved the stock at $40.
Okay, I'm surprised.
People made a lot of money
I'm eyeballing it at about 20%. Come on, 20% of the viewers own CoreWeave? And not as a swing trade or a day trade? Yeah? Okay. No, I'm a little surprised. It felt in my head like it was a bit frothy. I'm a little surprised. I thought we'd get like one out of 30 people.
Yeah, we'll see what the prices are.
Yeah,
Remember, half our audience doesn't own crypto either. So
well,
it's
that's
like
another reason why I was. Yeah. Okay. I'm just.
It's a risk on asset, right?
Why not?
For sure.
Why not?
At this point,
I had nothing against it. I thought it'd be a lower percentage. That's all.
Yeah. No, that's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
I used to read
Word Up
magazines,
and then Salt and Pepper and Heavy D.
Whatever happened to
Salt and Pepper? I don't know what happened to them, but I think they just got old.
But everybody still tours these days.
I saw them. They were on something. Maybe they might have had like a cameo on the Grammys or something, where they.
I think there was a fallout between one that was dating Trash from Naughty by Nature.
Naughty by Nature.
Yeah. Anyways, they were legit. Naughty by Nature was my champ. Look, this VWAP.
Well, hip hop, hooray!
This VWAP hold on CoreWeave. Sorry, something just fell on the green screen right next to me. Does not look like it's going to hold. It was probably the right decision.
Randy.
Probably the right decision to get out at that prior high. But if we don't hold on to VWAP on this retest here, it's not going to look any good. The market's still looking overall very strong. Shout out to our chat for I love some of the old school. I love Bill Biv DeVoe. I don't know why when we're talking about salt and pepper we go BBD, but that's fine. Showing some love for the sticky from TD Baker. So that one's for you, my friend Sean. And CoreWeave. Awesome. 180 is not the target on CoreWeave. If 180 is on the target for CoreWeave for you, 500. Then you're not you're not a day trader. That's one, and two, then you are very bullish on this stock because you want it to go all the way back to the all-time high and double it up from here. Yeah. And all I can say is I'm rooting for you. I don't own it, and I'm not thinking that that's necessarily going to happen, but I'm not rooting against you. I always want stocks to go up for everybody, right? Whether I own it or not. Like, I'll cheer for Robinhood all day long. I don't own a single share of that stock. And, we forgot to mention this. So Day is getting bought out. They're in the S&P. So you know what that means? When that deal closes and they get tossed out of the index, somebody else gets to go in. It is going to happen because that deal is supposed to close in the first half of next year. Yeah. So somebody's going to the S&P 500 again. So you can start your petitioning for it to be Robinhood.
Yeah, that'll be interesting there. So we'll see how that one all pans out for us right now. Let's have a check in on again a stock that I quite often champion. Palantir. So it gets up there into 157.50, close enough to getting me out of some of my position there in the long-term account. I want to just get a little more liquid. It has nothing to do with not trusting in Palantir. It's just I don't know where this market's going to go. I think we are a little bit vulnerable tomorrow if there is something wrong with whatever happens at Jackson Hole. But yeah, so that's part of my worry there, that if we can get up today and get a piece out, then we'll do that. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with trimming a little bit here of Palantir ahead of that noise tomorrow. And it's just going to be noise. But right into there, if we do dip down again, this is not great news for Palantir. Google right now going to be offering some cloud services to the U.S. government right now. So that's not going to be good for Palantir. So there you go. More competition coming in, but it looks like Google does make that move higher there on that news I almost want to short Palantir, that's for sure, on that. So maybe we should.
Oh yeah, Palantir's really
see, so we had that, and we should have done something.
Oh my!
About
I went to Google first because that's the name I heard in my ear.
I was right on Palantir.
And yeah, it looks like Palantir, the one that's heading to the downside. Google tried to break the high. Alphabet tried to break the high today on that news. Just very quickly, CoreWeave was able to get a couple of legs out there, 94, like 94.3, but you lose VWAP. I'm out. So CoreWeave's exactly flat for me. Exactly flat. Like nothing really fell through, or followed through, I should say. And it looks like the reloaded VWAP is not looking very good. But that Palantir news, I mean, at the end of the day, they've had they've got the government's ear. And they've got all the government contracts have been big. They've been going, look, they have been looking to expand away. And there's two ways they can expand. They can expand to other governments, or they can expand to the private sector. But certainly,
Palantir goes up.
Yeah, but certainly Google, it's not a positive story necessarily for Palantir, especially considering the context of what's been happening the last couple of days. So no breakout at 158. Do we just settle underneath VWAP again? You see how it's buying off of 155? Remember I said that earlier? Like there was just something fishy happening at 155, and they're still buying 155s as we speak. Goes right in and bounces off $155. I'm not sure you want to short this unless it's off the highs or this. I hate to say this guy, but whomever it is that's buying at 155 goes. One or the other has to happen. Break down through 155, or you got to wait for the top. So I'm going to try and be patient with this Palantir story. It seems negative to me, but until that buyer is broken, I don't think you want to fight him. Let's go to Adara.
I just want to let you guys know I have zero details on this story. I haven't even seen a source for it. I've only seen 2 people post about it on X, and neither of these posts are getting very many views. So I don't know the extent to which this is being, I guess, disseminated or shared around. But either way, the only thing I'm seeing is the same headline that you guys read, basically that apparently Google is going to be netting some government contracts. We know earlier today we heard that S&P Global made a deal with Google Cloud as well. So Google Cloud here, a couple of different deals potentially to watch out for. Palantir holding 155 as support regardless. And if I get any more details in the story, including who reported it, I'll let you guys know. Back to you.
All right, so I already went long there on Google, just small, just to hear about that, because we did get that spike up, and as Adara said, if it's not official, then yeah, we probably do drift down. And I'm going to use the 50 period right there at 201 as a level there. So we'll use that and see what winds up happening with this trade. I kind of want to get longer right now in this position, but I was hoping for a dip down, so we're starting to dip just a little bit now. All right, I'll put something in the 30s, but I do have a bid down at 201 flat. Again, just trying to use VWAP, trying to use the 50-period moving average, again, on Catalyst, right? I mean, hopefully this is the catalyst that we're looking for Google, and an opposite catalyst for our friend Alex Karp and company. As the thing is that if it's true, though, I mean, the government spending is a good thing in the space, and they're continuing to do it. And I mean, Palantir is not going to be the only company that the government buys AI. But again, it just goes to show you that the moat around Palantir right now, I still think is quite large, but if we start hearing more stories like this, then we do have some downward pressure. And that's what I'm saying about taking a little bit off every once in a while when you get these huge, huge runners. I mean, it's more than a 10-bagger for Palantir. I mean, we got to get something out, right? Here, 157, so good little level there. The Nasdaq almost went green, or maybe it even did go green again. We are at that 23.3 level, so that we had thought that could be something for the market. But here we go, man. Let's see if Google wants to go now. I'm thinking there's a good chance here. But yeah, more upside is what we're looking for now on Google. So 201.60s here. We're now 15 cents in the money. I do want to get a little bit longer in this play. So hopefully we're able to do that. But for now, it's upside, and it's been so far so good on Google with this story. And Palantir is bouncing as well. So maybe there is a mixed story there with Palantir and Google.
Well, it's definitely good for Alphabet. It's just, it's ambiguous what it is for Palantir more than it is obviously good for Alphabet, right? Because you kind of speculate that takes away from Palantir, but like Google's getting a contract. So that's hard news. So buyer at 155 is undefeated on this stock. And Jamie, that's what we're talking about here. Jamie said what just happened with Palantir. It's the story that we see, which I haven't actually read from anywhere and neither is Adara. I haven't read it anywhere that I particularly trust. Was simply that the U.S. government can cloud contract for Alphabet. And, that's something that obviously has been good for Palantir to get government contracts, but That's why it spiked to the downside. It was at the same moment that that was being reported. I'm just eyeballing this 155 buy because if I'm interpreting it as bad news, and if the market is pulling back off the highs and starting to go red, Palantir couldn't break out. I'm wanting to short underneath volume weighted average price, but 155 has been not a forever buy, but since about just before 10 o'clock, there's been a buyer that emerges every single time when you're sitting there. You can just be watching the tape or the chart's telling you the same thing anyways. So if that buyer loses, I want to be short once it breaks down under 155. It just has not happened yet. And moving on to a little bit of something else. Yeah, CoreWeave, right to get out of VWAP, that continues to go lower. While really, some of the names that were carrying us that have been under the radar, like Microsoft, the market pulls back. Microsoft is right back at the highs and just holding up top. Remember the theme yesterday was everything was pulling back into the 50, not everything, a lot of things were pulling back into the 50-period moving average. You got a correction into an obvious key level, and then you're bouncing. Well, what is Microsoft doing right now? It is just hanging out and pure straight chilling at the 50-period moving average on the daily. So it gets there, and it just holds and stays there. You need to break away. It gets 1037. The market's going to make a direction when some of these bigger names decide what they want to do off of this level. Microsoft, obviously one of the biggest names in the market. I think that's one worth watching. It's not to say that the market's going to go as it goes, but kind of. Especially when you're at a key level like that.
Yeah, I'm going to still stay in this Google trade. We did just buy that dip there in Google, so now we're in the money decently. Not decently, we're in the money 15 cents. We were looking for a lot more than that, but we'll see if we can get back into the mid-50s again. We could take some of this out. Again, using this 200 area as a stop for us, so let's put that in right now just in case. 209, like 84-ish or so as a break area there for me. What just happened? Okay, I must have put the wrong stop price in because we did not want to get out, so we got to buy it back again there. We did not mean to punch out right there, so I don't know what I did on that, but this is what I mean, you know, you're putting out, $200.84, okay. There, all right. So now we have our offer in. We punched out by accident there on Google, so we're back in that if you're wondering what was going on with that trade, but yeah, so far so good. Let's just wait. We're back into Google. We do have another trade here on the futures. The futures coming in nicely right now into VWAP, so let's see what winds up happening. No wonder Google came back. The market right now giving it up. We're going to hold this about 10 more cents against us. We just bought the dip on this into VWAP, so we're going to wait to see what happens now with the futures. We're in it, and we're long right here at 87.10.
And you know what, everybody? Empowered women change the world, and you, every one of you, can make it happen. The Woman Boss trains and mentors women and girls across Africa to lead, innovate, and thrive. Since 2018, we've reached over 10,000 women and girls, and your donation today can launch the next great entrepreneur. Scan the QR code on the screen now and join us in building a brighter future. Check them out.
Yeah,
great cause. Let's go to the desk. Sector Watch time with Adara.
Lots of sectors here that are notably weak, including retail trade. We have Walmart leading this group to the downside after their earnings report. Finance pretty red here as well. Consumer durables, with the exception of Tesla, which is relatively flat, has a lot of weakness too, as does transportation. Health technology has some bright spots, notably Eli Lilly to the upside. This one trading around $715. Electronic technology, a little bit mixed, though here. Not as exciting as we usually see. Intel down about 2%. GE, RTX, and TXN to the upside. But other than that, a flatter sector. Now, technology services, on the other hand, is notably weaker. Google to the upside. We're seeing some reports that S&P Global and the U.S. government are making some Google Cloud deals, though it's worth noting I have not seen any X-source that I personally trust mention this Google Cloud deal with the government. I have not seen anyone mention that, but regardless, that news is Google, or that report is Google pushing to the upside and Palantir pushing a bit lower. Now, other than Google, though, there's tons of weakness in the sector. Meta, EA, PanW, Adobe, ServiceNow, all to the downside. Back to you.
Yeah, so these futures right now, I mean, we're in it. It went into the money for us, but it kind of stopped up there right again at the 50-period moving average. So we're just trying to absorb some of this downside push, but I don't know, maybe it's real now. I don't know if we just touched it out there, but I thought maybe an absorption here in and around this level for the Nasdaq, as our out is breaking through 80s. So if we get to the downside there, we'll get out. We're not, like I said, this is just a play to see if we can get going. We had a huge hero play yesterday on the TQs around this time, and we'll see if we can do something similar right now. But you know, being responsible with it. It came back in. We didn't start averaging into it until now. Oh, here we go. Until now, it looks like it almost broke on us right there. But yeah, back in again for these. Maybe this is not the trade that I was hoping for it to be. We can get something out at 90. Just bumped to 94 and stopped again. So I don't know. I feel a little vulnerable here as the market does not really want to get back up to the upside. All right, we take some out there at 94, 95, and now we'll see if we can get a little bit higher. Not trying to do anything too crazy here. We made a lot of money on this exact play yesterday, and I don't want to give it back. So let me get some more out here, 96, 97. Doesn't look like it wants to bounce too much off the VWAP there, but if it does, we'll still hold. I just got out of 20% right there for an L, so we'll be down so far here. See, it just tried to go again. Like I'm at 08 to see if we can get something there. It doesn't look like it even wants to give me 08s right now. So yeah, a little bit of a back and forth battle here with the futures just at VWAP. So let's let it settle down. We didn't get huge numbers today one way or another. I don't remember the market really moving too much off of those. So I'll take another 20 there. I took another 5% there. There you go. Give me those 08s. This is where I'm sitting at. It would be nice. There it goes. So we get them. Now we're starting to go back up to the upside here. I'll get out a little bit more here if we can get some 10s. But anyways, downside play now in the futures, it looks like. But we're trying to sit here and make something of this trade. So we just got 8s or 9s there. We're out of half already. Let's see if we can hold for this. 87.40 would be great, but that might be wishful thinking right now. So yeah, we're in this play. It's the futures right now. We do have Google long as well, waiting to see if that bounces off 201. Market blasting would be great. Market tanking, not. So yeah, we're going long right now off VWAP on what's been a decent day. Nice run up, nice pullback. Let's see if we can get back to those highs.
Yeah, Palantir still going. It actually closed on the 3 under 155. So like, okay, that's the entry I'm looking for. The second, it hadn't had a close underneath that price. Every time was just a bottoming tail. I'm like, if it reverses that pattern, I'm shorting off of that buyer being gone. Well, right when it opened up the next candle, back into the upside. So wait for confirmation under 55, but then it breaks out these bodies in here, and we're just going to jump right out of the trade. This is still the one away from this price level that I want to be able to get. If Palantir dances all day, fair enough, but there's clearly something cool going on at 155, and trading off that level is where I want to be. Look, I saw in the chat someone was like, what's going on with Bitcoin? Yeah. So we're essentially... We flushed into 113 that is, which was around where support was in the afternoon yesterday, a little bit higher than the 113 level. On the daily, in the higher time frame, 112 is support, but 113 in the afternoon. And then this again here, we're bouncing off the 113 level, it seems, on IBIT.
Let's go.
Don't know why that accelerated. Really, the market was pulling back off of the high, so maybe that was it. But looks like 113 instead of 112 has been support for BTC. I haven't looked at ETH at all today. Load, but it's doing more or less the same thing. It flushed, got into afternoon lows, and is now trying to bounce. My guess is BMNR is doing exactly the same thing. Yeah, BMNR in that 50 level. Can't lose it. You can't break out the high. So I paid for locates on this, but it's not breaking down. I don't have to trade it. It's not breaking down here on BMNR. It never got to the top. It refuses to break underneath that 50 level and hold. So I might not trade anything crypto related if we just sit in this. BMNR, a dollar range for $5 stock is good, but a dollar range for this stock is kind of lame on BMNR. It usually moves way more than this. very much an inside day for this thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Google right now, I mean, the market's pulling back in. We actually did really well to get out of some of those TQs. I mean, we got out basically where we wanted to, right there at the 50-period moving average. So a quick little scalp there on the futures. We'll take some more out in and around these levels, 04s, 05s, and then wait to see. And the reason why is I'm not sure what's going on here with this story. And so if Google's not going to start to, that's Google. Let me zoom back out so you can see a little bit more. Nothing's really happening with it, but we are down near a level that I'm trying to buy it, but I'm not trying to buy it like crazy down here. We'll put in one more unit to have 2 units in total. We had 4 units, actually 5 units on the TQs, which is why, again, on a little bit of a bump up, we were able to start to scalp more and more out of this play. And again, trading with bigger size, hoping that it works out for me. Who knows right now, but we had a monster play on this yesterday. And here we go again right now. Let's see if we can get going on these futures. I mean, brought to you by Trader TV Sean and Trader TV Live. Thanks for continuously watching. There it goes. Yes. Let's see if we can get back up to the upside right now. There goes the TQs. Nice move up. I mean, trading the Nasdaq here. We do this every day. And we're getting excited right now. This instantly, and I did this yesterday, man. Like, this is now P&L 1 right now, the futures. And I just started this trade at 1040. It's like you got to be patient and wait for those levels. And when they come through, oh boy, they could be something special. Shout out to my lovely wife who is watching one more time. Really excited to spend the weekend with you. It should be a great concert. It should be a great time going back and forth. Baxter's coming into town today as well, my son from Waterloo. So that should be a lot of fun for my kids, okay, so there goes Google. Nice move to the upside right now. Oh boy, we're starting to print now on these plays. Let's go over to Adair and see what she's up to.
I was going to say, I finally saw the Google news coming through my blotter just now. Apparently, Google announcing that in partnership with the U.S. General Services Administration, they're announcing their new comprehensive Gemini for Government offering. So, yeah, I guess a new Gemini for Government offering in partnership with part of the U.S. administration here for GOOGL. That's that cloud news we heard earlier that sent Palantir to the downside. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, so we, we didn't get everything that we wanted. We never do, it seems like, on those dips. But we're still in this play for Google. And it's a decent one, man. We're in the money now, 10 cents. Just got some out there. That was a mistake. We punched out by accident. There we set the wrong stop. So right now we'll wait to see if we could take out some of these highs. That's 201.60s. So right now I'm not even offering up there, so I think I should do that. 201. Let's go to 55. We'll see if we can get out of a little bit. We've got to go. Soon we'll be going out once again. We just go to the gym every afternoon, and we see how that goes today. I don't know what I'm going to do today.
This year?
A week? Maybe like when I was in Boston, maybe, but.
Oh, well, that's.
No, I didn't. We already. I better have.
Vacation doesn't count.
Is it good to have a banana before you work out, or is it better after? What is the story with bananas? Sharif,
it can be.
Is it good to have a banana before or after?
It's a good snack for energy.
Before.
It's a good snack for energy.
Okay, I mean, I got lots of energy, but I was trying to. Okay.
No, bananas definitely. Yeah, it's definitely.
Potassium.
Yeah.
All right. No cramps for me.
I used to like that, and trail mix would be like a. Kind of a
trail mix. I love trail mix.
No, for like cross country. Which,
yeah. No, but just trail mix in general is a great snack.
Oh yeah.
Healthy goodness. As long as you don't have like the M&Ms.
I used to get the. Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like the
chocolate covered trail mix.
I used to get the ones that have the candy in it, but I think I don't really do that anymore. That's not very healthy at all. I think we're going to Dara. We only have 10 minutes to go, everybody.
Wait, what?
Let's take a look here at the U.S. dollar. Really nice breakout here. I mentioned for like the last week or so, we've been really consolidated, trading with a base around 97.6, top here around 98.2. The last 2 days, we've actually made some distinctive higher lows. Look poised for a flat top breakout as of today. We are making said breakout, currently trading here around just shy of 98.6. So nice bounce here for the U.S. dollar. But what is worth noting is we're still seeing a lot of division within the Fed. That was highlighted for sure, emphasized yesterday during these FOMC minutes from the July meeting. Now we have comments from Fed Schmidt, who has been, as of late, and especially with these comments today, one of the more hawkish Fed, saying that the risks are inflation the risk for inflation are actually higher or more significant compared to the job-related concerns. So Fed Schmidt definitely angling here to maybe consider keeping rates where they are. Fed's Bostic, for his part, said earlier today that he's really only seeing potentially one cut this year. And with these more hawkish comments and this weaker or worse than expected jobless claims number we got earlier today, 75.3% now of participants are expecting that 25 basis point cut. This number has been a lot higher historically. As of 1 week ago, it was actually at 92.1%, as you can see in the bottom here. Right now, about a quarter of participants expecting rates to be held. We'll have to see what happens, but there seems to be increasingly division, intrigue, and some indecisiveness at the Fed. This meeting for September could be a very interesting one, guys. Back to you.
I think it goes without saying this is going to be an interesting one. For traders, you always... for traders, you pretty much want to have a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit of spice going into any Fed meeting on the decision, which we have not been getting because we know exactly what we're getting almost every single time. There's very, very little, I guess, ambiguity with regards to what the Fed is going to do. And we're getting a little bit of that. There's no ambiguity about what's going on with Opendoor. The door is open, and it's busted through, and it's up double digits. And once again, the squeeze is back on. Here on Opendoor. It needed to break 350. It held $3. Look, it didn't test $3, obviously, but it's held $3. It is now running away from that price. The 350 break has happened, so congratulations to everybody. That's the thing about a key level. Like, you can have the level right, but what you want to do off it can be the other part of the equation. Like, I thought, look, I wanted to break down on this trade because I thought it was a good flat bottom, but it plays in the other direction too. And there's a good point by B Towns in the chat that I didn't consider. Open on SSR today too. So it was down over 10% yesterday. And usually on day two, on a squeeze potential stock, I'm thinking look for the long because it's SSR on day two and it flushed the day before. So if you can find a support level, that's pretty good. So shout out to you for that reminder. There's a reason why traders like that.
Rob.
If you find a good long trade, but it also happens to be a stock that has the uptick rule in effect, it's harder for people to short. Little bit more release when it heads to the upside. And that Palantir war at 155 is just won again.
War. Yeah, we like
the
that.
The battle at 155 just continues to be won on Palantir. So once again, my order goes back in to break out at 158. We spent the entire morning going sideways on this stock. Look, I'm shorting any breakdown under 155, and I'm taking a long break on Palantir. I just want to be involved when this finally makes a move one way or the other after all of this chop here on PLTR. But certainly open, that's a big one. That squeeze play, and this is something we were talking about. I want to just one more point on Opendoor here because I forgot to mention this on the daily chart, and it's worth mentioning almost every single time. A lot of the short interest, at least early on in the move in Opendoor, started increasing right in here, underneath the dollar. In this day, these couple of days, it was like the 14th and 15th, the short float started to jump up. A lot of shorts are in underneath the dollar. Maybe they've gotten blown out, but certainly that shows you how aggressive some of the shorts were on this. And this is, rates going down are good for them too, right? Like, let's not forget about the fundamental aspect of this. So this is the kind of stock like on, oh my goodness, like in September, if we do get a rate cut and maybe it's not as expected as the numbers suggest, this is a stock that could really squeeze because ultimately rates going down are good. It's not the be all end all because mortgage rates are probably priced in a bunch of this anyways, but it certainly can't hurt. And the shorts would be a little bit scared, I would say.
I just asked who's rolling here, and there it goes, man. There goes the TQs. This is going to be an absolute monster for me here today. So we did it yesterday. We didn't hold enough. Right now we've still got 20% of this trade. I'm going to get out another piece right now at 40, and yeah, good trading here for the futures. There it goes. Yes, give me that. Yeah,
the stream is buffering, by the way.
At 40 right now. All right, if your stream is buffering, yeah, mine is also not going very well right now. So,
mine's frozen.
Yeah, stream not well. If you guys, let me try to refresh it here. Reload the stream if you can, guys. Yeah, it seems to be working for me now.
Okay.
Hit refresh, get back into that stream. Thank you, everybody. I'm just gonna put, Here we go. I'll type in the chat, refresh stream, in case you guys are reading that and not visualizing it. But there goes the futures to the upside. And hey, if you're here, let's figure out what's for lunch. Now, I don't know exactly what this means. I've never seen this really before in my life. This is an interesting, okay, it's going to be a chicken dish, so bury the lead.
Well, we've seen
right there. What exactly is, Joe, it'll be all right. What exactly is grilled Italian chicken? That's what it says. So, you know,
grilled.
We're down with that. I mean, I think it may be.
How many ways do you grill chicken? What are we talking about here?
Grilled Italians.
It's spice.
Yeah, it just has to be the seasoning. So that should be okay. Cold pasta salad.
But if the Italian dude says, what is grilled Italian chicken? I'm feeling like that's a little questionable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out
on this chicken.
Nah, I mean, me too. I mean, I think it's just the spice level, like the spices that it was used. Italian seasoning. I don't really know.
I don't know what that would
what that would be exactly, but maybe if Chef Joe is in the chat, he can let me know what that is. With, of course, Neil doesn't like this, but I do steamed broccoli, and then my kids' favorite sides, Caesar salad as well, to go with the grilled Italian chicken. So it's a chicken dinner winner.
Down with broccoli.
Yeah, down with broccoli. But if, you know.
Up with kale.
Again, if you guys have this trade, man, it's the futures. It came right into VWAP there. Sometimes it holds, sometimes it doesn't. And now back-to-back days, we put our best trade on around 10:30. Just waited for it to happen. And we still got some good trades on too, man. I mean, AMD, that short was huge. That is for sure. The Tesla short was huge, but we got stopped out of it right there as well. And then the NVDA trade. Bottom of, I don't know what was going on there at that number, but we should have been there. But anyways, 174 as we posted that one. So it was a good long, still a positive name for me. And then CrowdStrike, not so much. That broke 95, broke through 94. We took 94, broke through CoreWeave, sorry, CrowdStrike. And then that's why I even put CRWD on the sticky note. But maybe I should trade that instead. But CoreWeave right there broke through 95. We nailed the level. Our best out is 70s there. But then we held half. We told you about that. Now that it got more than half in, like our stop was always going to be half right there, but we got out more than that, then out, and then we went red on it with this last trade, trying to hold 94 and breaking. So just to give, okay, the futures are starting to move now. We're super happy about that. And then same as Google making a move higher. It hasn't moved the way I thought it would on those notes today, but we'll take it. We'll hold this. Like I said, man, we'll be back here around 12:30. We have our stops in. We don't raw dog anything, and we'll wait to see where that goes. But the futures are all the way up right now, and that's just continuing. We said 87.40. I mean, rewind the tape 30 minutes, man. We said 87.40 is sort of a target for us. So let's get this out right now. Again, thanks for watching today. It's been a big one. Hit the like and subscribe if you have not. The show just keeps on getting bigger and better. And I promise you tomorrow will be even better than today, because you've got Obi, you've got Sharif, everybody ready to go tomorrow. Neil, we're all here. And I'm back today at 2 p.m.
Yeah, we'll be back at 2 o'clock for sure, but it ain't over just yet. We got another couple minutes here, and Robinhood is now decidedly green and about to take on the high from yesterday, right at the open. That's a lot of these wicks are absolutely real at 108 at the open, and then it failed that price, and then you go the day before that, and you had 108 as resistance. You know my style of action at 11 o'clock. If there's an all-day trend line at a resistance point, then if it breaks the trend, I want to get into it to the downside for sure. This is an interesting question. Doug, I have a question. I keep seeing the letter K, Q, P, or Z next to the bid ask. Does that mean the exchange? You're talking about, let me just go to the level 2. Like for us, like you're saying, the next letter next to the bid ask. These are the different exchanges that you can execute on. But the single letters usually are the time and sales, and each one of these prints corresponds to one of those books. D meaning dark, and then everything else corresponding to one of those books. That's what the letters mean. On the book, you always have, like, for us, we have like NSPs, Nasdaq, ARBs, ARCA, MEMX there, or MEMX, whatever it's supposed to be. And then the single letters are just the actual prints on the time and sales corresponding to each of those books. So I think that's what you meant, but you're absolutely right. And sometimes it matters more than others. A lot of times, if a stock is doing good volume, it's just going to plow through all those levels, and it doesn't matter what book you're using. But there are situations where you might care to see, hey, which one is printing more? And can I get a fill on that particular gateway? Maybe like on a NEO, like a $5 stock, you might care about something like that. Let's go on over. We'll be back at 2 o'clock. It's Joey Options. It's the professor. Go get them, gentlemen.
Ciao for now.